there's no need to like go into like all of the weapon tuning. It's not really germane.
No, not at this point. We're going to talk about some of the main stuff and what sits with you guys and folks is.
No one cares that adaptive auto rifle base damage increase from 15 to 15.5. It matters not.
I care. No, I was just kidding.
No, you don't.
I don't give a
If
fuck
I
about
asked you,
much of anything, to be honest.
I ask you, what's your favorite primary ammo weapon in Destiny? It's not an exotic. Can you even answer that?
Primary weapon?
My guess is going to be a hand cannon for greener.
Really? Well, wait. It's primary is just in the top slot, right? Is that the terminology?
Oh, primary as in primary ammo.
This man doesn't even play Destiny.
Okay, so primary ammo. Okay. I play it. I just forget what you call shit. Leave me alone.
Listen, all I'm asking
That's what we're here for. We're not going to leave you alone.
All I'm asking for is the name of your favorite primary ammo weapon that is not an exotic.
Well, I'm trying to think of anything that I used. Wait, gnawing hunger? Wait, see, I'm confused because that's a void auto rifle.
No, like, gnawing hunger is a primary.
But it's primary ammo.
But it's primary. Okay. Oh, so not the green stuff. All right, I see what you're trying to say.
Not green or purple ammo.
Yeah, I know the purple ammo. Okay, so basically, I still have to look at the list to tell you what my favorite is.
Okay. So he can't answer what it is.
Right off the top of my head now.
If I also asked him what the frame of that weapon is, he'd have no fucking
The
idea.
frame? No, I don't know the frame of any weapon.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. That's literally why you're here. I'm just the pretty face. You're the one with all the knowledge. He's so
That's so funny.
Wait, so it can't be an exotic either? Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm
just trying to think. Yeah, I know that I don't play the game. I don't know anything about anything. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Bro, I used to love Bygones. Back in the day. That was definitely one of my top tiers.
What frame is Bygones?
It's a pulse rifle. I know that's not the frame.
What kind?
What kind? Aggressive.
I mean, I can tell you what your top actual legendary your top legendary primary weapon is on your account right now.
Hold on. The top primary.
Got the letter of the frame, correct?
Oh, did I? Okay. So adaptive?
That's another. There you go. You got it, buddy.
You know what? There's some people that would have never, ever even got anywhere near that. So, I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, your top legendary in...
I don't even want to hear it. In PvE?
PvE is Callus.
Oh, okay. Really?
Callus Mini Tool is your number 2 legendary. Your number 1 is Trinity Ghoul. Your number 3 is Sunshot.
Trinity Ghoul doesn't count because I was just AFK farming back to Shadow Throne back in the day.
But Sunshot's your number 3.
Sunshot is probably legit.
And then your top 3...
But that's an exotic, so that didn't
I'm actually surprised. Your top 3 in Crucible are all legendaries.
Hey, Greener.
Yeah,
What is the archetype of the frame for your Callus Mini Tool? This is almost a trick question, seeing as its frame changed not too long ago.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I shoot shit, and when it dies, it blows up and kills everything around it.
Fair.
Do I need to know what kind of frame it is?
The correct answer is it's a Midas synergy frame. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's my top 3 legendary in PvP? I feel like
Bygones, Steady Hand, and Gnawing Hunger.
Gnawing Hunger. Wow, I was a bitch.
Drummer, he wasn't blowing things up with Firefly and Callus Mini Tool. That would be impossible on account of it doesn't have Firefly.
At least, yeah, no, it's got the other one, the newer one.
What other one?
The newer exploding one that's only a couple years old.
So there's three different fly exploding perks, and then another exploding.
Well, there's Firefly, and then there's Dragonfly, and then there's Incandescent, right?
There's another one. There's another one that was released.
Oh,
in the last
there's a new one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the one I have has Incandescent on it. The one I have has got Incandescent on it. Okay, that's the one I used. So, fuck off.
Because then, at least in terms of solar explosions. There's also chain reaction, and then there's also Mega Nura.
Correct.
There's what?
Mega
Yeah.
Nura.
Do you even play?
Yes. What the fuck is Mega Nura?
Hey, Greener. What all does incandescent actually do?
It blows things up. What is wrong with you people?
Podcast today is brought to you by Roasting Greener. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good Lord.
You invited us. It's your fault.
I didn't invite anybody.
Let me ask you, you see what Reaper of Souls just said? Butterfly's great on crossbows. Do you think butterfly is actually a perk?
You know what? I don't think it is, but you're probably going to tell me it is. So who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? I sure as hell don't. Not anymore. I assume he's talking about Dragonfly, and I do know that exists. And I even know that you have to precision kill them for that to proc.
Well, butterfly is indeed a weapon perk. Yep.
What?
It does cause things to explode. Yeah, it's the newest one of the insect fly perks. Yeah.
I don't believe that. You're lying to me.
Yeah. Aiming for a short time. Without firing. Makes your target explode when you do a final blow, your next final blow. Now he's going to look it up.
There is.
Yep.
There's a butterfly perk. What? I even have guns with butterfly on it.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, there it is. Yeah, a little skull. How the fuck would anyone know that's butterfly? What a terrible design for butterfly. It's like a fucking skull.
Luckily, when you look at the perk, there's text that tells you what it does.
Yeah,
Gives
but
you a name.
I just assume whatever the perk looks like is what it does. That's how I know
Mega
chain
Nura
react.
has a bug on it.
What?
Mega Nura has a bug literally has a bug. As
Okay,
its
but
symbol.
what does it do?
It blows things up.
Makes things blow up.
Okay, I've got 4 guns with that on it. Oh,
I mean,
see what the fuck? It's an actual dragonfly. What the shit?
It's
I
the
hate
only
this
thing that it
game.
has going
See?
for it is that it's a dragonfly. So, old school dragonfly, you can at least somewhat assume what it's going to do, but their icon design is terrible.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what I know for a fact?
What?
Greener's going to earn 0 points on the event unless somebody feeds him answers.
That's offensive.
He's got the answer key. That's the only way he earns any points.
I'm gonna get the most points. I'm just gonna submit I'm gonna submit all wrong answers, and I'm going to approve them. How's that
That's how
feel?
you win. That's how you win.
Yep, that's how you win. I've played the long game for this event right now is the reason I started Shrouded. Is to win our prophecy thing. Scavenger hunt. Prophecy scavenger hunt. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, so I've done the draws. Are you done making fun of me?
I mean,
No.
this is pretty good content. You're recording, right?
It is pretty good content. I'm legit considering like having the beginning of the podcast start earlier than the intro because it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny, and I'm sure I could do it. Or maybe we just play it at the end. I actually edit my.
Just do an outtake at the end.
I don't know about that. That requires editing.
Oh, you lazy.
Lazy, he says.
Yeah.
It's not about being lazy. It's about physically not having enough extra time to do that. That's another 10 minutes, which means something else doesn't get done.
Oh, God forbid. That's not even a match, a freaking marathon.
Okay. All right. All right.
I don't know. If he's playing the new mode, it might take a while.
No, it's like 17-minute matches. It's pretty simple.
Exfil opens at minute 18, right?
Yeah, but every time you get in there, it's already like 15 minutes left.
Oh, you don't go with a team. You go in as a rook. Got it.
No, I don't. I assure you, they never started 18 minutes ever. Almost ever.
The new experimental mode.
Yes, I've played it dozen times.
It's supposed to have an 18-minute timer.
It's supposed to, but it puts you like the instances started a couple minutes before you even get into it.
Yeah, but the full team is supposed to be able to get in there, and then it's only supposed to be rooks. I thought, isn't that how it was described?
It is. But I don't know. I don't know how their instances work or whatever it is. But I assure you, there's never 18 minutes left.
Okay.
There's never 18 minutes when you get into those. Never, ever, ever. It's anywhere between 15 and 18 minutes that you have. And then if you don't get the key to the thing right at the very beginning, it's basically you just walk around and get loot because you don't have enough time to do the good loot.
All right. Well, you got your draws. Do the
yeah, I do. I forget what YouTube or episode 152 maybe. Oh, I don't usually say that anymore. Oh man, that's wild. I got a crazy thumbnail on my YouTube. Oh man, I put a short. Sorry, go ahead. I put a short up last week that makes fun of Astacross and his pissing on Marathon's grave. Let me I don't know if I got his people, but the people that did comment are like, fuck Marathon. Fuck, I'd piss all over you. Fuck you. I hope you die and burn. I was like, holy moly, bro. I know.
No offense, Astacross. I know you've clarified your statement since then. If this happens to become a short and shows up in your feed, I like you.
I don't.
Some people in your chat, I'm not a huge fan of.
But I only don't because I don't like most Destiny content creators. Because I don't play the game, apparently.
No, you don't.
Listen, I still have like 3,000 hours in the game. Just because I don't play it as much as you guys.
Just go to one of his videos and slap that like button like your mama taught you right. All right?
I don't know what that means.
That's just me showing that I actually watch his videos occasionally.
Yep.
Oh, does he say that shit?
That's his outro.
See, that's another reason why I wouldn't fucking watch his shit. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you actually have that as an outro? What a Goomba. I also hate his voice and the way he talks and everything about him. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. I hate Paul Tassi way more than Astacross. How do you feel about him?
Paul Tassi?
Yeah.
I used to not mind Paul Tassi, but he started to really turn into a doomer, like way more than usual.
Yeah.
And he's getting kind of annoying. He's not like one of those grifter doomers.
Yeah, no, but he's getting there.
When you go look at the replies to his posts, he's getting a lot more of those people that if you look at their post history, they are those weirdo grifters that are agreeing with him. I don't think that's a good direction to go.
No, that's not a good direction.
I think if you see those people agreeing with you, you probably should change your content.
You need to take a step back.
Paul would say he's just being realistic about things, but
yeah,
he's had a lot of doomer posts, like a lot more doomer posts lately.
I mean, to be fair, he was right about Destiny. So when you get to a certain point and it's just like, oh, you're just doom posting, and then like a week later, like Destiny gets canceled. It's like, was I doom posting?
He was doom posting still.
Yeah, I don't like him either, but you're right.
And he's still doing it as of today.
Oh yeah, he just moved on to Marathon.
That thing he posted about.
Which, to be fair, I really like Marathon.
Players than Marathon.
I like playing Marathon. I do think Bungie and Sony wants more players playing. I do think the numbers look pretty.
I'm sure they do.
Dog shit.
Here's a nuance.
Yeah,
Here's a nuanced take on Marathon. I don't like Marathon. That said, Marathon is a very good game and is probably the best of the extraction shooters that exist. It just so happens that extraction shooters are not a genre I enjoy. Therefore, I spit on Marathon.
Hey,
take the words out of my mouth.
don't spit on its grave, though.
That does not mean I want Marathon to go under or those devs to lose their job. I think the market is so expansive for video games that there's room for all kinds of things. And I hope Marathon garners enough support from the people that enjoy extraction shooters that it can exist for a long, long time.
I just have no idea how much they need to keep it rolling. You know,
Well, the concern ends up being that if Marathon ends up faltering and failing, with the fact that Sony has already been seeing Bungie as a money pit, for lack of a better term, Sony
Just
likely
shut
would just
everything down,
dissolve Bungie. They've already been pushing talent out of Bungie into other studios to be able to help with other projects. So do they just dissolve Bungie as a studio, or do they just rebrand Bungie as a completely different studio?
This is totally cope, but there's a lot of momentum. There's a significant amount of momentum in the socials about Destiny 3.
Yeah.
Even if
fair.
Sony was like, don't want to do this, we don't want to take the risk on it right now. I feel like a point has been made between the we're in the podcast now, by the way. There's no intro, but we're in the podcast.
okay.
But a point has been made with the socials that through the socials, through the petition that's up. I haven't checked it in the past couple of days, but there's more people that have signed it than Destiny 2 ever had concurrence players at once. So I feel like that is significant.
Probably.
The reaction to the state of play, like they had to start banning people from using emotes because people were getting tired of seeing the Destiny 3 emote show up in the Sony state of play. And that was all the chat was for the entire time.
Yep. 352,000 signatures.
So even if it doesn't change anything right now, I feel like it would be crazy if the folks that plan new projects or are involved in greenlighting new projects haven't at least taken notice that there are a large number of people that are interested in more Destiny. So what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. I think there are a lot of games that exist, a lot of studios that exist without putting out new games for long periods of time. If you discount remasters, I think like what Naughty Dog, they put out some remasters, but they haven't put out an actual new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those remasters bring in value into the studio.
Sure.
So,
but they could also remaster
you can't really
Destiny
discount that.
1. They could remaster Destiny 1 and do whatever. They could even remaster Destiny 2.
When's the last time you've seen a live service game get a remaster?
That's true, but Destiny 1 isn't really a live service game anymore. It's just a game that exists, and if there's sufficient players that they think
just happens to be online,
sell in the remaster.
Yeah, but even an always online game like that, when's the last time you saw an always online game get a remaster?
That's true. You do have a point there.
The most recent one that I can even think of that's even remotely close to the same identity in terms of being always online or a quasi live service is how Blizzard just redid Diablo 2.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I can think of.
At the very least, I suspect they're at least investigating.
Oh, absolutely. But that doesn't necessarily mean, because we've also seen it with the industry, Sony in particular, that they've shuttered studios and handed the IP off to another studio within their portfolio to go and make it.
I'd be fine with that.
Listen to the last time they did that, though. It was with Bluepoint, right? And they gave Bluepoint literally an entire year of pitching ideas before they shut it down.
Yeah, so I don't think Bungie is on the ropes necessarily, but
if they can't come up with something that
say,
Sony thinks is a moneymaker, then they could be.
Well, so two things. One, you're right about that they need to come up with something that Sony's going to be comfortable greenlighting and not seeing the risk in it, and it's not going to have. It's going to have to be a non-live service game. The second piece is Marathon has to have some level of measurable success.
Yeah.
Underneath Sony's metrics, not underneath Bungie's, but Sony's.
Yeah.
Because Sony spent a ton of money on that studio.
Listen, I'm sorry, Marathon fans, but Marathon took too many resources to make. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
The plan to recoup the money and make the game profitable has to be a number of years, and I don't see a world where Sony gives it given what's happened, Sony gives Marathon more than a year before they shit can it if it doesn't.
What if they always initially planned that it would take 2 years to recoup their money and then they would start making profit?
Okay. If that's what their plan was.
I don't know what their plan. I don't think nobody knows what their fucking plan is.
I have a hard time thinking that's their plan considering how they've marketed Marathon, where it's this is your one purchase that you have to make and then you have the game. Everything that's coming out after this, all additional patches, all additional pieces are a part of the game, barring cosmetics.
Yeah, people do that all the time, though. It's just all cosmetics, and there's a shit ton of cosmetics.
There are, but I don't see, at least underneath something like, again, Destiny, they had DLCs annually that were getting large influxes of cash into the company. A fraction of the player base is going to pay for cosmetics. I
don't know how many people pay for it.
It's like, yes, the Eververse is what likely has sustained Bungie for as long as they have for Destiny 2, but without DLCs coming in that are going to be paid DLCs, I have a hard time seeing Marathon having a steady flow of cash longer than a year or two.
Well, always remember the famous quote by a Blizzard employee one time that one mount skin in World of Warcraft made more money than all of StarCraft's 2 DLC. So don't knock cosmetic revenue until you actually see the numbers.
I mean, that's fair. But
I don't know. They might be selling nothing. I can tell you that I have only spent, since I bought Marathon, I've only spent $10 on it. And I bought the Season 2 Season Pass. So.
Oh, listen, all that said, I would be very surprised if Marathon was paying for itself in the next 2 years. And, the only thing we have to compare it to really under Sony that has kind of the same vibe is Concord. Concord gigaflopped right out of the gate. It wasn't.
Yeah, it had like 500 players or something, like concurrent.
And they shut it down, and it was another $400 million game to produce. So
I still don't understand the $400 million price tag for that game. I'll never understand it.
Marathon hasn't been shut down already. Kind of suggests that they're going to let it run for a while.
They believe in it more than they did Concord, yeah, for sure. But I mean, even at Marathon's lowest point, it had more players than Concord did just 3 days in.
So. Imagine Sony's like, yeah, we're going to make a new Destiny. We're going to call it first party, and we're only going to release it on PlayStation.
Holy shit.
No PC, no Xbox. Fuck off.
I mean, it's Destiny is their biggest audience, apparently. From some number, or I said Destiny. Destiny 2's biggest audience is PlayStation users, according to the numbers that I've seen recently.
I mean, the API numbers still bear that out. API numbers still bear that out.
Yeah.
So most people logged on at any one time.
Anyway, my point is they could do that and probably still make a ton of money. They wouldn't, though. That'd be fucking stupid. I mean, cut out Xbox, sure, but not PC. What are you doing? There's only 8 people that have it on Xbox, so it's fine.
I think the concern that they're going to have with that, and it's a market share piece, that if they put it on PC, at least right now with how the PC market is, there's no way of preventing it from getting on to the next generation Xbox because of the partnership that Microsoft has announced with Steam.
Oh yeah,
so,
I don't think
there's rumors right now that Sony is building its own launcher for PC so that it can still push to PC.
They announced that was.
Did they announce it officially?
They did, but then they also announced that we're not doing that after all.
Oh
yeah. They pulled back on that. Did you see the PlayStation numbers? There's no point developing.
They're going back to PC. Their first party games are going to be strictly.
Yeah. I think some of their biggest sales items on all their games on Steam were like 1.2 million, which some people might say is really good, but is that worth?
Though, it's not a fair assessment though. When's the last time that one of their first party games released simultaneously on both PlayStation and PC at the same time?
I think it's still a fair assessment when you're looking at it for value of exclusivity. Even if it not launching at the same time and still only selling 1 million, the very, very best version only selling 1 million on Steam means there's at least a bunch of Steam people that have a PlayStation or have bought a PlayStation to go buy it on PlayStation because it releases early on PlayStation, which is what they want. So that's ultimately what Sony wants.
You're missing the main drive of the hype though. So when a game does extremely well, there is a uptick in sales there within the first few months.
Yeah,
and
but
if they can't capitalize on, because they're not capitalizing on that. Well, that's the main thing they're losing out on.
They're never. They rather have the PlayStation sales. They rather have the console sales themselves.
They're selling this at a loss.
I don't think there's any world in which they would release Destiny 3, the live service game, not on all platforms. Like, to get the most out of the live service game, you need the biggest audience you can, right? Because it's not just game sales; it's also all the microtransactions are going to come with it, right?
Yeah, it's true, but I want to point out the console loss is subjective, right? Because what they really want is people in the PSN ecosystem buying third-party games, and they get 30% of the revenue. Like at the end of the day, it's all about exclusivity in the PSN store, so they can have the 30% on. They get all the money on the first parties, and then 30% on all the. So the more people they can sell that to, and the more reason to do that is what they give. So my point is, they thought maybe they'd make enough money off of Steam players if they release afterwards. Realize it's not enough to give up exclusivity, and then now they're going back to exclusive, trying to sell as much as they can. That's my take on it anyway. At least it's not enough. And to increase, the only way to increase those numbers is to release it earlier during the hype. But then they run the risk of people not buying PlayStations and not being in the PSN ecosystem to purchase games on the PSN, and then therefore they make all that extra money. So it's a big. I'm sure somebody looked at the numbers and was like, "It's not worth it to do this. Get them all back in our ecosystem." I don't know for sure, but. I get it. I almost never play.
I get it for most titles. There's some titles I just don't like. As Rex said, I don't see a world where they release something like Destiny 3 if they do it as an exclusive onto PlayStation. I just don't see it.
The only guys
can I see them cutting out Xbox? Maybe.
The only people that are for sure shit out of luck if Destiny 3 launches are the old legacy consoles, because there's no shot they're getting into a new game. Upgrade your console, buddy. Sorry.
Hopefully, once they launch D3, it'll just be a PlayStation 6 exclusive. And whatever the next Xbox is. Like, skip this generation, too.
I want to see a lot of electronic costs coming down before I start seeing new consoles hitting the market. It's already crazy how much more expensive PS5s and Xbox Series are right now.
Well, listen, all the people that are making GPUs want you to go to virtual PCs for everything, even gaming days.
Yep.
And I ain't about that. I ain't about that noise.
No.
No, I'm not a fan of that. I've tried it on some stuff, and some of it's not that bad, depending on the game you're playing. But
I don't mind it for travel gaming, but not as my main source of gaming.
And it still does matter what you're playing. Like, I played in my house. I can stream Steam games onto my Steam Deck. Well, I can do it anywhere I want, but I can do it over my network. That's how I used to play Destiny on my Steam Deck. Sometimes when I was upstairs laying in bed, and I pop up my Steam Deck and whatever. Try to do that not on the same local network, even though it's wireless. It just the lag is too bad. But I can play like any number of walking simulators, just slower end games, just not like twitchy shooters or fighting games or anything. There's a lot of stuff that it works really nice for. I also have one of the little PlayStation Portals, and I've played a lot of like Life is Strange stuff on those types of games. The Edith Finch, that type of shit, whatever you want to call it. On that little thing, away from home, at home, all over the place. I even played the majority of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on that thing because like that game's not super twitchy, so you kind of just like do your own thing, and works pretty good. So I like it for some stuff, but I couldn't do it. I can't do it for Destiny or anything like Mortal Kombat or something like that. Just that little bit of lag is just too much. It's so frustrating.
I don't even care about the performance. Call me old, but I like to own things that I buy. I don't want to have to rent my computer. All right.
You should stop buying games on Steam.
Listen, I understand that I'm buying things with a license, and to the extent I get into services online, I take steps to make sure the media that I consume is mine forever, regardless of what the person I bought the license from says. All right. So there will never be an audible book that I've purchased that I won't be able to listen to whenever I want for all time until I'm dead. The same with any movie I purchased from Amazon. There is no chance for Amazon to take that from me, so I can never watch it again. I'll let you figure out what that means, but while I don't go around flying the Jolly Roger, all right, I pay for things. If I pay for something, you're damn well sure, but you will be damn well sure that
backup?
I have a backup of whatever it is that cannot be taken from me.
What about the Red War?
What about the Red War?
Where's your backup of that?
I don't need a backup of it. Why would I want to go back and play that again?
I actually would love to go back and play the Red War.
Anybody on this clip watching this short who played the Red War and are mad that it's not in the game anymore because it's been stolen from you, you need to get over it. All right, take that diaper off, put on some big boy pants. All right, look back out into the world. You played the fucking campaign.
What a flip flopper!
It was a good memory. All right. Reliving it is not going to make it any better. It would only be better for people coming into Destiny for the first time. All right, and those are going to be very few and far between from now on. All right.
I'm gonna see how this goes. He goes, I buy something off Amazon, so I pirate an extra copy, so I never lose it.
I never said I pirate anything.
It's not pirating if you own a legal copy. All right, that's actually a fact. Anyway, so, and then the second, you talk about something that we have all lost.
What's the problem?
I thought it was funny. It was like, no, I will never give it up. And then, it was like, put your diapers back on, you losers.
I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about the content being gone.
Right? Okay. All right. Well, I'm stealing one of the movies that you downloaded then, just to make you angry.
Okay.
And somehow making it so you can never download it again.
All right, buddy.
Good luck.
I don't know how. I'm gonna have to blow up your house.
You want the password for my raid server?
Raid server? I don't even know what that means.
All right, good. Good for you.
Is it like a media server type thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I call them media servers.
Yes, well, it's the architecture for your media server.
Okay. All right. I just use Windows Media Player Legacy has a media server built in. It works just fine. It's great.
I don't want to have to host all my media on my own computer. Like, I want a computer that's for the house.
Wait. You're crazy, man. All right. Whatever, dude. Okay. You know what we never did? Announce any of the winners of the weekly giveaways.
There weren't any. Sorry,
There
everybody.
was.
I ate all of it.
Okay. I'm going to hit this announce button. But I just want to, okay, yeah. So I did the draws earlier. We give away gift cards to your favorite platform, $10 to 4 people every week. Sometimes that changes if we're poor, but we're still good right now. So we're going to keep going. Whee! Anyway, the winners this week, Phoenix Abaddon, Dark, Big, Eevee, Ghost Scout Ben, and Zaddy Messiah. You're all about to get a ping in Discord. Unless my bot is broken, which does happen regularly, so don't judge me. Hey, it worked. Nice. Oh, Dark Big Eevee is Master Full Bidge. I don't know all these people, man. And that shit, I paid money for it. He's just trolling you, man. Okay. All right, cool. Anyway, if you want a chance to win too, join the SGC. We are awesome. ShroudedGaming.com/Discord. PoE chat. I got pinged. Oh my god, chat. You know, I have the ping for PoE in the Discord because I played it for like a week and I've never turned it off. I get pinged every time there's fucking patch notes. It's just like, shut up! I don't care. Does anyone else play PoE? No?
I started it, but I can't handle, the controls are not good. I want to play the game on controller. Because I prefer to play ARPGs on controller. I like to be able to move to one direction, aim another. I can do that with WASD, but I still don't like the setup. But they don't have hybrid. You can't. Even though they say you can handle menus and whatever with your mouse and keyboard on PC and play with controller, that's not actually the case. You can navigate the menus, but your inventory screen does not count as a menu. So and managing inventory in PoE 2 and PoE 1 for that matter with a controller is the worst. It's very bad. Do not like.
I can't imagine playing an ARPG on a controller, not gonna lie.
That was enough information. That was enough information for me to be like, nope. Also, I don't like the when you play like Diablo on controller, you know, ARPGs tend to every one of them has like single target attacks. And when you're playing with mouse and keyboard, it's easy because you just click on the thing you want to hit, right? And that's where the attack goes. For Diablo, when you play on controller, as long as you're turned the right direction towards the enemy you ultimately want to hit, there is a little bit of the game making a decision. You want to probably hit the biggest mob that's over here. And so that's what will shoot your single target attack in here, right? In that direction. PoE 2 does not do that on controller. It has a lock-on feature that you have to actively be cycling through targets in order to hit. And if you turn towards a creature who's like across the screen and hit your attack button, whereas in Diablo, the attack would go, it would auto-target on that thing. The attack in PoE 2, it just lands at your feet in the direction of the enemy. And after dealing with that a few times, I was like, all right, this means I have to do WASD. So I started playing WASD, and I didn't like it at all. So I stopped.
Okay. Cool story. We should probably talk about all these articles. Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Week at Shrouded, episode 153. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Okay, so the first thing I did, I put them all in order, I think. Hold on. Yes.
So we're doing dev insights,
so we're talking guns?
And focusing.
What the fuck? What?
The first article,
artifacts and focusing
the oldest article is Dev Insights, Weapons, Artifact, and Focusing Preview, 529.
Okay, well, I had the This Week in Destiny open first, but I suppose we could do the. It doesn't matter. We're doing This Week in Destiny. This week in. Shh. I'm doing it whatever fucking order I want to do it in.
Yeah, but This Week in Destiny refers to that Dev Insight.
Fine, let's go to the Dev Insight. All right, Dev Insight, baby. So they introduced weapon tier upgrading in this one, right at the top.
Yep.
So
how rapid fire do you want to get on this? Because we have a lot to cover.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna give you the TLDR. You tell me if you want to talk about it more. TLDR, you can upgrade. There will be materials that allow you to upgrade your weapons to tier 5. That will give you all of the reasonable bonuses that tier 5 weapons get. All the little damage bonuses, additional enhanced perks, whatever. You will not get the extra perks, however. There you go. If you want the extra perks, you still got to farm them.
Okay, so if you happen to get a god roll that you want as a tier 1, like with everything that you want, you can upgrade it to a tier 5. That's what you're saying, and you get the extra stats.
Weapons. Yes, all the extra stats. Yeah, crafted weapons also get it as well.
Oh, so you can just so this really is just upgrade your crafted weapons to tier 5.
Well,
and then if you happen to get a 5 out of 5 tier 1 god roll.
Well, or if you are already currently right now operating off of your considered god roll of a tier 4, you can spend the materials to upgrade it to a tier 5.
You see,
it's also really great.
I delete anything that's not a tier 5. So
no, that's fair. But it's great for people who are not necessarily constantly getting tier 5s or going and doing things like EQ or Desert Perpetual or Epic Desert Perpetual and aren't getting consistent tier 5s. That if you get a tier 3 or a tier 4 that has the right perks on it now, you can make it a tier 5.
Okay. Seems like a really good thing to do for the very last update to Destiny ever. So, I mean, every gun in the game, basically, now you can upgrade to the most powerful version of itself.
Yep. So, next rapid fire thing. Every exotic weapon that currently doesn't have a catalyst is getting a catalyst.
I read and talked about this, and I thought that was crazy when I heard it. Because it's like 25 weapons or something. It's wild.
27, I think, total catalysts that are coming in.
Crazy.
But like, I know personally for me, I was very excited when they showed Parasite because having Envious Arsenal and Parasite, I now no longer have to have a holster mod in my boots to auto load Parasite.
There you go. There you go. I think that's crazy. It's crazy though that they had 25 catalysts. Just probably most of them were probably ready to go. I don't think they made 25 after they found out that everything was being shut down.
I would say actually they probably did quickly make some of them because some of them, like personally to me, I'm not the biggest fan of Terabas. The catalyst they're giving to Teraba, they're just putting Envious Assassin on not Envious Assassin.
Overflow, right?
No, not Overflow. What the heck is it? Ambitious Assassin. So I'm not necessarily a big fan of that
equipment. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a big fan of that. So it seems like most of them, it's just hey, we're giving them an extra perk. They're not getting catalysts like what we've seen on more recent exotics that they're creating something additional custom for that particular exotic.
Okay, that's fair. I did not go through all of them. So,
well, there's only been 3 that we've been definitively given, and that's Chaperone, Parasite, and Teraba. Shappy's getting triple tap. I guess we were given Crimson and Merciless. Crimson's given to the Pain, and Merciless has Heal Clip. There have been a few others that have been hinted at on Twitter. I know I am very excited for what they hinted at for Anarchy. Anarchy seems like it's going to be something akin to Cloudstrike. So that could be super interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff's going to be super interesting because they're just like... I remember one time I did a podcast a long time ago with Rect. And he had talked about like some of the last updates to Destiny 1. And how they just threw everything at the wall, and if it was overpowered, it didn't fucking matter. It was That's the way it stood. And I'm starting to have a feeling that Destiny 2 is just going to be that. There's just going to be all this shit that's like super strong. And Bungie's going to be like, oh, well.
Well, we have a lot more to go through for you to have that opinion.
No, maybe. But I mean, like, all these catalysts, like, surely they're going to be super strong. Like, maybe not all of them, but right now, you said similar to Counter-Strike, for example. So that's every once in a while, that's going to proc.
Yeah,
Extra
well,
damage.
it's the hope. It was somebody
I know,
asked
but,
on
like,
X, there was a string of emojis for it, so I'm making a huge assumption on it. But it's also being shown that, like, Teraba is, all it's getting is a perk that is quasi helping with its ammo economy. So
Yeah.
it's not really doing anything additional in terms of it becoming quote unquote broken or extremely strong. And Chaperone, it's triple tap. I barely ever see people using Chaperone in PvE, and I don't see triple tap really coming up in PvP with how the special ammo is right now in PvP.
No, triple tap wouldn't be that good, but might be good on a slug damage boss or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
with
It
triple
would be
tap.
good if you were using it in a damage rotation. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is it's increasing the damage of all these things, and there'll never be any balance passes on them.
Well,
I mean, we're making that assumption. We don't know if that's actually
Yeah,
going to be.
we're making that assumption. You're right. I always figured there'd be bugs and network fixes, but I
Yeah.
can't
I think
imagine
there's
there's going to be a very big team doing any of that stuff very often.
no, I think they'll go after things that are extremely out of band, but they're not going to go after anything, and they're going to be
Maybe.
bug out of band kind of things.
Yeah,
But
all right.
they're not going to go and do mid-season balance patches like we're used to having.
Drummer Messiah, live action Wrecked is dead. You only get the cartoon version on account of I don't even have a webcam hooked up to my computer right at the moment.
Okay, so next on here, it says enhanced weapon crafting, but I just assume that's weapon crafting tier 5 stuff that we just talked about.
So two things.
Yeah.
One, when the update goes live, the perk pool refreshes that are happening to weapons that are
Going into crafting.
Any of those perk pool refreshes are going to affect the crafted weapons. Those perks will become available, and you will immediately have the option to upgrade your crafted weapons all the way up to tier 5 with all of the same perks. That will also apply to your adepts.
Yeah,
See,
each
that's what I'm
crafted
talking
weapon, each weapon that's currently craftable is getting 2 additional traits per column.
Yep.
So things could
Pretty
escalate
straightforward.
quickly.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I'll note on this that they told us a long time ago they were working on, and they still never brought it forward. And it seems like, at least based off of this alone, they did not get it in. Crafted weapons are still going to be locked to 1 perk per column.
Yeah, which is fine.
So,
It's
Yeah,
fine.
I just know that they had previously talked about bringing in the ability to craft with multi perks.
Yeah. I'm never one that changes my perks mid-fight, so I'm good.
Your adepts will get both the adept bonus and the tier 5 bonus as well.
Yep.
They will stack on top of one another. So
Okay. Should be fun.
all right, weapon and sandbox updates. I think the biggest update here in general is that they are taking steps to kill, throw in the mine, and bury double special. They are making some changes to make sure that ammo economy for double special users sucks as much ass as possible.
Okay.
Couple of major pieces that I noticed with this is they're making primaries feel very strong against minor ads specifically. They're very much making this feel like what I remember of D1, to where it's expected that your abilities are being used against larger targets. Your heavies are being used against bosses and mini bosses. Your specials being used against majors, and then your primaries being used against red bars. So they very much want to see that kind of rotation. There are a few key weapon types that are being hit pretty hard, both on the nerf and the buff side. Bows are getting buffed significantly. rocket pulses are being nerfed practically into the floor.
Not because of their damage, though. Not because of their damage per shot, but because their ammo is getting cut and their ability to regen ammo is also getting reduced.
Yep. Lots of significant buffs to various different exotic weapons. I know for me, Trinity Ghoul is going to feel really strong.
I mean, we can go through the list for the things that
Xenophage is going to feel great again too.
That are a big deal. Acquire One is a popular double special users. It is getting its ammo, both its reserve ammo and the special ammo economy changes are getting cunt punched. Sorry, but it's just how it is. They're getting kicked right in the ding-a-ling. So if you were a Acquire of One double special enjoyer, I'm sorry, you're not probably going to be afterwards. We already talked about rocket pulses. There's some changes in here about only for the Crucible. I think the Crucible is going to be a fucking nightmare because of all the ability changes and weapon changes that are coming. It's going party mode permanently. There's a new mode out there coming for mostly gunplay, but the gunplay is going to be redonkulous, especially with the ability tuning pass that we got today that we'll get to later. So I mean, if you want gunplay, fair fights, even in the new mode, I'm sorry, you're not going to enjoy Destiny PvP, is my suspicion. It's going to feel real bad, real bad.
Anarchy is getting a pretty heavy pass on it, on top of it getting its catalysts, it getting a trap lifetime increase from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, plus getting a 30% damage buff. That's going to get back into a rotation and be, as they even put it themselves, it will be directly competitive with Finality's Augur.
Divinity's getting a pretty significant buff.
Yep.
So it's going to be easier to use. If you enjoy Sunshot and Graviton Lance, I'm sorry. They're both getting giga nerfed. They will not have nearly the same potential to destroy whole packs of ads anymore. They're reining that in significantly on both of them. If you really enjoy Outbreak Perfected, it's not going to get as nerfed as badly as Sunshot and Graviton Lance, but it is also getting a not insignificant nerf to its nanites. So there's that. Lament is going back to the ye olde days where it was good all the time for everything. So it's getting all of its former power basically back. Let's see what else in here.
Thunderlord's getting nerfed. It's ammo refund.
Whatever will I do?
If you're a fan of being a Jedi, I'm sorry, but Praxic Blades are getting nerfed. Their ammo regen is getting significantly impacted. I don't think it's really going to matter because the artifact that we currently have will still be available if you're a diehard Praxic Blade user, and that will cover all your ammo needs.
Biggest change to Praxic Blade is they're killing the Stronghold build.
Yeah. Now, if you are... Listen, there are two different types of Stronghold players, all right? There's the Stronghold user, which I respect, all right? Who would go into an encounter and use their Praxic Blade with Strongholds to proc resto on themselves and then go ham, like fighting shit, not sitting there and blocking. Unfortunately, boys and girls, you're getting caught in the crossfire because the blueberries that would go into these activities and literally just sit there and block the full time, their abuse of what Strongholds can do has made it so that Strongholds no longer work with special ammo swords. Praxic Blade in particular.
They no longer allow for infinite blocking. The resto build should still work.
Yeah. You will not be able to just sit back and block the whole time with your Strongholds. If that's you, all right, if that's how you enjoyed playing the game, you enjoyed those blueberry strats, well, sorry, not sorry. You can't do that anymore. But Praxic Blade, if you use the artifact, you'll still be able to do all the shit that you want to do. If you want to run around with your Jedi fantasy, more power to you. Still possible. Is there anything in Legendary Sandbox tuning that's really...
nothing that we haven't already touched, no.
Okay. I'm just taking a quick look through just to see if there's anything else we missed. No.
Oh,
all right.
Every heavy weapon, barring, I think it's crossbow. No, I think every weapon archetype is getting buffed on the heavy side against bosses and champs. So
not
heavy
machine
should
guns, not swords in general.
one specific machine gun is getting buffed, and then
Yeah.
swords are actually the only thing getting hit with a nerf. But it's only vortex frames. So
all of our legendary perks are getting overhauled throughout the board. There's a couple of things to note here. Like full court is getting the full 35% damage bonus that other big damage perks are getting. So full court with grenade launchers might be worthwhile for bosses that sit far back. I'm thinking like Oryx or whatever.
lasting impressions getting buffed.
There'll be enough. Yeah, there'll be enough distance for like full court to work. Lasting impressions going up to 35%. There's kind of a theme here that some of these damage perks that you see on power weapons a lot that don't get used very often are being brought up to parity with other perks, right? So why is that important? Well, most of the perks that have the big damage bonus right now require some kind of rotation or require you to play a specific way in order to get them to work. These weapons are getting that damage bonus, but they're going to be dead easy to use. So listen, if you got that bro in your raid group who's always bottom of DPS because he can't manage a bait and switch rotation, well, get him to put on something with one of these perks and he can participate a little bit more. He's still probably not going to have the same amount of damage, but he'll be closer to parity. And if you wipe, it's not necessarily going to be because bro's got 45k damage while the rest of you have 100k plus. All right.
Hey, I'm just excited for OG damage strat against Galaron. Full court spike nade grenade launchers, man. This is gonna be great.
For you PvP players that really like your Adagio 120s, I got bad news for you. That 2-tap, it's going away. Womp womp. So sorry. By and large, the rest of your on activation perks are getting easier to use. So that's good for everybody. Timers are getting upgraded for all the perks that have them. So it's going to be easier for you to see what's going on to the extent that Destiny's conditions are easy to see. Because we all know that like you get 4 or 5 different things and something's getting pushed off that you can't see anymore. So it's whatever. Shotguns are getting enough of a rework across the board that Fallout is coming out of retirement and making another shotgun video, even though he swore he was never going to make another one. So there might be something there if you like your spread, your pellet shotguns. I think that's most of it. We can probably move on to artifacts now, unless you've got something else, Hoppy.
No, they did highlight the one of the new origin traits here, which is the Dreaming City origin trait. So get a okay damage bonus when it's active, but a fairly nice bonus to handling on top of charge rate on the sword that's going to be in that loot pool. So that was nice to see with that. They're also reworking running gun for Gambit. So that's also going to be interesting. It's nice to see that Gambit's coming back. I mean, I'm glad to see that they're not ignoring any existing mode that's going to be staying in the game. It was funny that Gambit got like a second of screen time in the trailer, unlike everything else.
All right, so let's go into artifacts and anti-champion. I'm going to start with anti-champion, even though artifacts are listed here. Anti-champion is going to be intrinsic to weapon face-off frame now going forward. So your weapon archetype is going to control what champion it's good against, and that's just how it's going to be for the rest of time. You're never going to have to worry about any artifact mods or putting a mod on the gun. So that's pretty good. I don't think they've talked about how this is going to interact with exotics that already have some anti-champion built in. I don't think it'll override the anti-champion that's built in, but I don't think we have a full picture of what that's going to look like. And then every artifact is being brought back, basically. They're all going to be available.
The quick and dirty look at how the intrinsic champions are working is if there are 3 frames, one of them's a hard-hitting frame, one of them's a medium-ish hitting frame, and one of them is an extremely fast fire rate hitting frame. It is unstop, barrier, overload.
Yeah.
Your rapid fire frames are going to be your overloads. Your basically middle of the road frames will be your barriers, and then your aggressives, your high impacts are going to be your unstops. So, unfortunately, sorry for anybody like myself that loved using things like Succession as a anti-barrier sniper rifle. Well, now it's going to do unstop.
Yep. I still think in the grand scheme of things, it's probably a net positive because we don't have. I mean, we know exactly what everything is, and you can build around whatever.
It's just going to take some change up to understand how we're going to be dealing with champions and various different champion content.
Yeah. All right. So Artifacts 2.0. They're bringing back most of the artifacts that have come through a season from the various seasons. You're going to be able to select which artifact you want to have active at any one time. You're going to be able to activate the perks, although the perks are getting modified somewhat, and we don't know exactly how they're going to get modified, and some of the perks are coming out. You're going to have a lower selection of perks available. But,
yeah, your overall amount of total perks active are also going to be lower.
Yeah. So the UI for the artifacts is changing a little bit. You're going to have 1-point perks, 2-point perks, and 3-point perks. You're going to get 2 of the 1-point perks, 3 of the 2-point perks, 2 of the 3-point perks. You'll be able to slot in. Most importantly, these will be saved with your loadouts. So if you have a particular loadout that works with a particular artifact setup, you'll be able to save that in your loadout, and when you flip to your loadout, it should load all of that automatically. Also, there's no weird dance of changing artifacts where it's like, all right, I want to change this perk on the 3rd column, but in order to do that, I need to unselect something in the 4th column, the 3rd column, the 2nd column, put in what I want, and then reapply my stuff. You don't got to do any of that stuff anymore, right? You want to swap out a 2-point perk, you can just swap out a 2-point perk. You don't have to do anything else in order to make that happen. So, pretty good. I pretty much like that. The artifacts themselves are going to tell you, when you select the artifact, it's going to tell you which elements it has most synergies with. It's also going to tell you which weapons it has the most synergy with without you even looking at the artifact any further than that. So there's going to be a bit more information that's out on the screen. This is really how artifacts should have always been. So I'm pretty happy about all this. It looks pretty good.
We're also getting a bump in the amount of in-game loadouts that you get per class. So we're now going to have a total of 20, where right now we're at 12. So It'll be really nice to be able to do these kind of pieces. A couple things that I noticed when looking at the artifacts. There are plenty of older perks that we already understand, at least based off of the icon. However, we don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. There's also some that we've never seen before. So though the 7 artifacts are coming back and we know what the actual physical artifact looks like, it's kind of a crapshoot right now of understanding what exactly is going to be coming as perks. I know the reduction in the amount of active perks also leads me to believe that there's going to be some significant loss of synergy here than what we're currently used to. Right now we have 12 active perks. Even if you remove the first column requirements of picking 3 anti-champion mods, that still makes it to where we would have 9, where we are now going to be limited to 7.
Yeah. Oh, I suspect you're gonna. I suspect the synergies are probably going to be tighter inside the particular artifacts, but we don't. That's just supposition. We don't really know. But you are going to see things like linear particle reconstruction back, reach and clear back, right? They won't be on the same artifact. So you'll have.
We just don't know what exactly that, like by name or at least by icon, they're back. We don't know what exactly they're doing. So we don't know what their buff or debuff potentials are. We don't know, we don't know if it's particle reconstruction or particle deconstruction, because they're, I believe, the same logo. So these are the kind of things that we're just gonna have to wait till Tuesday to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What else is there in here? Anything
Vendors.
else? Yeah,
Vendor updates. So we're going to be able to focus tiered loot at basically every vendor that's being overhauled, and practically every single vendor is being overhauled. Yeah. There's more on additional vendor information in the latest dev insight, so we can get to that when we get to that. But I mean, everyone from the Drifter all the way to Banshee is all getting touched.
That's pretty good.
So you'll have focusing across the board.
And your weapon and armor attunement, where you can actually select what you're increasing your drop rate for, is now going to be done through an accessory in your menu. It's not having to go to the individual vendor to do it.
Yep.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yep. It's good stuff. And that's the end of that dev insight.
One caveat to that attunement piece: does not include raids or dungeons.
They have their own menu at the end anyway.
Yep.
Or they'll have something at the beginning that they'll have their mechanics for doing focusing like they do now.
Yeah.
So, Greener, what are your thoughts on this info we just dumped on you?
I mean, to be fair, I think I did read most of that last week. You guys had a lot of like little, obviously, tidbits of information that I wouldn't have known. But you know, I saw all the artifacts that would be available, and you know, we were talking about that. I did see the crafting and the tier 5s and the stuff, but you know, gave, and then obviously I saw all the exotic shit. Vendor updates are nice, you know. I think I keep forgetting the words that I'm using, bro.
Words are hard.
The focusing thing has always been good in Destiny, so like just having it everywhere, beautiful. Gives you a little bit better of a chance at getting rolls of what you want. And then so much stuff though, so much stuff. All the weapon archetypes that we're going to be having now that have champion effects. And you're right, like we're not sure, you know, is there an exotic that has, you know, whatever way. That's a bad example.
We don't know if like Arbalest is getting touched.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is, do we know if one thing is overriding the other, or they're just going to get rid of intrinsics, or it's just going to do both? You know, who fuck knows right now? I'd like both. It's the end of Destiny. Let us have fun. Let's do both. Let's do both. I love it. All right. Anyway, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's all good. Like, why didn't we have all this stuff? Why not just release all this stuff before, when everybody said your game sucked, and this is what would fix it? I don't get it.
I mean,
good question.
It's the exact same thing I was telling you last podcast.
Did I say that last time? Probably.
I'm sure a bunch of this stuff has been in the works for a while, and it was probably slated for at least 2 expansions. But now they're just giving it all to us now because
I know. But the point is, it's like they should have realized that this is what, you know, they should have realized that this last year, and then just be like, okay, we need to put extra people on this to get it out now with Renegades. You know, and then
the problem is that they had a limited amount of resources, and they
needed more
resources in the marathon.
Fuck you, Sony.
They needed more, but they were hemorrhaging money. Like, Sony's not just going to continue letting them operate at that kind of a loss.
I know,
but all this. Wait. They did all this with the resources they have.
Exactly.
They didn't need more. They did it with the resources they had. They just didn't release any of it. This all wasn't just created since Renegades dropped. This has all been in the works. You know, this has all just been in the works.
It would have had to been.
It was probably
unless they've been lying to us all these years, and they're like, "Oh, it takes like 6 months to do something," and then they do it all in 3 months.
They've even said it. There's different teams that were working on upcoming DLC and those kind. They could have absolutely offloaded those people and surged on this and gotten to this kind of state that yes, the precursor of this and the bare bones of this were probably already in the works. But to get them to the finish line, they absolutely surged on this.
I think most of this was already done and ready to go. Considering we know for a fact that devs, except for some very high level ones that didn't even know that anything was changing, and the ones that did know ahead of time that Destiny was being shut down, only knew for a very limited amount of time. That tells me this work was done. They didn't just like finish this at the last minute. You know what I mean? This was all going to be trickle-fed content for sure. Some of it was going to come in Shattered Cycle. Some of it was going to come after that.
I just don't know why who thought that that's a good idea. Let's do all the work that all the players want, but then trickle feed it to them. So
well,
stupid.
I'm wondering if most of the like quality of life improvement stuff wasn't just going to be coming in Shadow and Order.
It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah, maybe.
Now,
I mean,
the
Sandbox-
SRL
we'll never
stuff,
know.
I think the SRL stuff was probably going to be Shatter Cycle.
I
I
agree.
don't think that was going to be.
The big Sandbox tuning pass was definitely coming now. The artifact was probably. I think most of the big systematic changes were probably going to come with Shattered Cycle or later.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. But like all the other stuff would have been now.
But
They
like
probably-
the exotics, all of the focusing for the tiered loot and everything, I think that was all coming with Shadow and Order.
That's possible. Yeah. But they did it with this team. Marathon didn't. I don't think Marathon did anything to the release schedule of this stuff. I think the only reason it's getting released now is because they had it done and they just didn't want to go to waste. That's it.
Well, no, my point of bringing up Marathon wasn't they pushed resources off of Marathon to work on this for June 9th. It was the fact that they were pulling resources off of Destiny to surge on Marathon to get Marathon released.
Maybe.
Well, they said they did.
All I
surged
remember
on
is they
Marathon
pulled
to get Marathon released.
people off Crucible, but Crucible wasn't making any money anyway. So that's from what I remember them hearing. They took Crucible members for their PvP game, which makes sense. But that shouldn't have affected any of the PvE content updates for Destiny.
Well, UI developers are UI developers. That's like
Yeah, I guess for UI for sure. Yeah.
well, UI weapon design, like underlying systems. You don't need somebody who's PvP specific. The PvP specific teams are going to be designing it around of how does it interact on the PvP scale, not how does it just fundamentally work.
I just remember there being an article at one point where there was a bunch of Crucible team members pulled over to Marathon.
Yeah, no,
all.
I heard that. I saw the same thing, but I don't think that was the only set of people instead of hands that were pushed over.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Right.
Well, there wasn't. They
Right.
went from a couple hundred to like 400 people working on Marathon at some point.
TWID 1.
Let's roll over to TWID 1.
TWID
All right.
1.
Almost everything we talked about
I
today
need a drink.
was already in this TWID. All right, I don't care if he's going for a drink chat. We're continuing because there's.
Oh
so much
yeah, we're
cover.
going.
The main things that are useful that we can talk about from this TWID, the big first thing is them changing Crucible Ops. We've already talked on the podcast about what they're doing with the playlists. So they go into the playlist a little bit more in detail here, but there's not really anything new. We know
The new
Iron
gear.
We know
Yeah,
we
those
know
new
the schedule
armor.
for Iron Banner. We know the schedule for Trials. We know they give us some details on how matchmaking is going to occur, but it's not really any different than anything else. They preview that there's going to be new armor sets for all of the Crucible modes. So regular Crucible's getting it, competitive's getting their own set, Trials of Osiris is getting a full set of gear that looks pretty good in my opinion. Iron Banner's getting a new set of gear that is half and half good and booty, as per usual. Everything's getting ghosts, everything's getting sparrows, everything's getting ships.
2 new competitive emblems.
There are 2 new competitive emblems. Yep. I am the Crucible and Last Guardian Standing. So if you're interested in seeing what all that stuff looks like,
I'm showing it to them right now.
Yeah, the neat thing about the competitive emblems, though, Greener, if you didn't read about them, one is just purely getting wins. So you just need to play enough to get 77 wins to get that. And then there's the new Ascendant 0, which is the same pathway as Ascendant 0 has always been.
So the one I'll never get. Got it. Roger.
And then they talk about Enter the Pantheon.
Da, 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 da.
So a couple of things that we know from outside of this article from confirmations on X. There are no pre-existing Pantheon encounters that are coming back. So everything that was in the original Pantheon is not going to be in this new Pantheon. Second thing we know is that there are going to be, I guess, 4 different ways of playing Pantheon is how it's being currently read. There is one that is half. There is a second one that is the second half. There is a third one that is releasing on the Saturday of release. That is the full gauntlet. And then that following Tuesday is going to be some type of rotation built around Pantheon to increase loot for individual bosses. How this all functions and plays together, what bosses are exactly going to be in there. We know that as per my background, the original Callus fight and all 3 of the raid layer bosses are all coming back. I know I'm still holding out as Copium that we're going to see Scourge come back, but there's been no confirmation that Scourge is coming back.
Wait, hold on. We have confirmation that Spire Boss is coming back?
Correct.
What?
Yes,
all right.
we know all the
all-time update of all time, chat. I don't care anymore that Destiny's shutting down. I get to play SOS again. Let's go. I know it's not the whole raid. Calm down. That's all I wanted. I wanted Callus and I wanted SOS. I'm good. All right. Fuck Scourge. No.
What do you mean? You don't want to run tanks? Come on, tanks in a boss fight's great.
No, I'm good.
We also know that feats are going to be active inside of Pantheon. So that's how you're going to be able to increase your loot drop. That also has me speculating that Pantheon is not going to be as difficult as the previous variant of Pantheon. I don't think it's going to be scaling difficulty as you get further into the gauntlet, because we know that Cutthroat is going to be a feat that you can turn on. So unless Cutthroat is just raising the base and then you continue going further under as you go, it's doubtful.
Final encounter, you're like, you're just
100.
You're minus 120 power. It's no big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be great. Getting another title for it. So it's not going to be Godslayer or us going and doing a re-up on Godslayer. It's going to be a brand new title. So that'll be wonderful to see. We also know that it's going to have its own separate loot pool. So that'll be really interesting. It seems like some loot from each of the individual old raids, including Leviathan, are going to be coming back. We don't have a confirmation of how large of that loot pool is coming back. We know that the ornaments for the prestige variants of the raids are coming back, specifically the ornaments. But that's about the only real confirmation we have, unless you saw something wrecked.
No. I actually didn't see the prestige ornaments for the armor. I only saw the regular armor coming back as ornaments. I remember talking to somebody about where's the prestige versions, but maybe I misinterpreted.
I remember seeing it on X, so I may have been just misreading, but I thought
I never saw the glowy versions of the armor.
I have them all
feats.
Anyway, so.
Feats inside of any, I guess, feat-based system. So right now, Desert Perpetual, Epic Desert Perpetual, Equilibrium, and then Pantheon are all getting overhauled to be the same kind of loot table design. So they're on grades now from 0 to 5, where each individual feat gives you a increase in reward grade. Where reward grade 5 it seems to be guaranteed tier 5s across the board. The one thing I haven't found wrecked, unless you found it, is truly understanding what this reward table means. There's a couple ways that I can see this happening. If it is that is the loot engrams that you're getting at the end of every encounter, that's a crap ton of loot. Or it's the loot pool type per encounter. So what I mean by that is that if you had a grade 4 encounter, you have a 2/3 chance of it being tier 5, or it's a tier 4. So either way can be interpreted. We just won't know until we actually see it.
Yeah. It's also farmable, so you can just keep doing it. Like most things in Destiny right now.
Everything is farmable. Next up is raid and dungeon reward rework.
And we pretty much already talked about it. We know all the raid armor and dungeon armor, they're getting set bonuses.
Couple things that we've. Go ahead.
The only thing that sucks about the raids and dungeons is that, like how it is right. If a raid or dungeon has a master mode, you can farm the master mode for drops or whatever, right? All of the previous raids and dungeons, that don't have a master mode, they're not getting one. And so the only time you're going to be able to farm the associated extra gear is when they show up in the rotation. So there's going to be, the rotation is going to be a little faster in the number of things in there, but you're still talking about waiting a number of weeks for a particular activity to come around for you to be able to really farm it.
I would say that's partially true. That's true for dungeons. It's not true for raids. Because you can farm tier 5s on non-master mode raids by doing encounter challenges.
That's true. Yep.
So dungeons, however, don't have encounter challenges, so you can't do that.
Yeah. So nothing extra is getting feats or anything like that to increase chances.
Yep.
They're just going to be the things as they really are right now. So some of them you're only going to be able to really farm for the top tier stuff when they're in rotation.
But this also gets after what we saw on the previous dev insight of being able to upgrade your weapons. We do know that you can't upgrade armor, so this does impact your armor drops and your armor farming if you're caring about getting good armor rolls. I know this is jumping ahead, but it's important talking about it because of the raid loot itself and the raid loot rework. It's been confirmed that the tiered raid armor is not going to have mod sockets for raid-specific mods. Yeah. So things like Enhanced Relay Defender in Garden or Taken Armaments inside of Last Wish are not going to be equipable on the new raid armor. They did confirm, though, that Hawthorne is going to allow us to purchase or focus, I don't know how they're actually going to do this, the old Armor 2.0 variants of those armor, if you care to actually have that, to be able to get armor to be able to do raid mods. I know personally for me, for Garden, I won't know until we see the set and we see the set bonus as to whether or not I'm going to be happier with the tiered version of Garden armor or the non-tiered, specifically because of Enhanced Relay Defender. Like, that increased damage in final encounter is pretty significant.
Yep. All right. You're getting 300 more vault spaces. People are already bitching and moaning that that's not enough. Fuck those guys.
That's crazy. Like, I haven't even made it from 700 to 1,000 yet, let alone getting another 300. That's crazy.
Oh, depends on what you're farming for and what you're trying to have available to you to play.
Well, it's going to be a bit problematic because now I'm going to want everything.
Things that were announced today made it more problematic. There are 6 new armor archetypes.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, though.
Yep.
Changes to cosmetics. Put cosmetics on whatever armor you want. You don't want your Lucky Pants to look like Lucky Pants. Not that you're going to want to wear Lucky Pants anymore after we get to the update for Lucky Pants. Sorry for that preview, all you precision damage hunters. You
got dumpstered.
You got bodied. I'm sorry, but you don't want your Lucky Pants to look like Lucky Pants. You want them to look like an old, like the very first piece of gear that came out with the Red War. Your crappy old burnt up pants. Well, guess what? You're gonna be able to do that.
I gotta admit,
Congratulations.
I've been waiting for exotic shit, whatever it's called. Man, I'm getting old, and my brain don't work no more. My words just stop coming out. I can't think
You've
of the
been
words
waiting
anymore.
I don't know what you're
disguise your
looking-
exotics.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Sorry, what?
I don't know what
You've
you're.
been- Go ahead.
What are you
Oh my
looking
God.
for?
For the word, what it's called when you make something look different.
Oh, transmog.
There it is. Thank you. I've
So
been waiting
the nice thing.
for exotic transmog forever because it's so annoying to buy like a reverse shit and then not be able to use it or not be able to use
that's
an
the thing
exotic.
I'm so excited about. Like, I know when the Magic the Gathering collab came out, I was really excited for those sets because they look good to me. But if I was wearing an exotic armor piece, I was fucked. So it's nice that we're finally going to be able to have, at least on the PvE side, a cohesive look when it comes to these kind of Eververse or specialty ornament sets. It is still the fact that in PvP, if your ornament does not match specifically to that item, so if you're putting on an Orpheus rig ornament onto Lucky Pants or onto Frosties, your ornament's just going to be disabled and you're going to look as a basic variant of that armor piece.
Yeah. Let's see what else. They talk about the new Destiny announcement thing that's coming. This was going to be obviously an in-game communication tool because people have been bitching about Bungie only communicating via
social
Twitter,
media
media for a long
Twids.
time. So we're getting it right when there's not going to be any more updates. Great. Appreciate
Hey,
that.
it's where they can announce Destiny 3.
Yes.
And you're going to be able to focus your Bright Ingrams. So,
That's cool.
So I mean, useful.
I'm pretty sure they also said that Bright Engrams will no longer. It's now on a knockout system.
I mean, they've always theoretically been on a knockout system. With the exception of if it determines that you're getting a legendary thing and you already have all of them, it doesn't just mean you're going to get an exotic or bright dust instead. You're still going to get a legendary piece of shit that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never gotten a duplicate exotic ship, sparrow, or ghost or emote that I can think of. They've always been new. The purples, it's all duplicates because I've had that shit forever. Let's see. You cannot get bright dust as a reward from Ingrams you focus, so keep that in mind. If you just raw dog the decryption, you can still get bright dust from them.
More reward passes going to monuments this season past. Chronologues are moving to being a currency in the UI versus being something in your inventory.
Yeah, it's nice. If you still have things to spend them on, that's pretty nice.
Well, there's going to be more things to spend with chronologues now, so that'll be good to see.
Yeah, all right. That's most of the This Week in Destiny that we missed, Greener. We can move on if you're ready, unless you have something to add. Greener's having a conversation with somebody.
Nope.
All right, you know what? We're going to move on. I don't care. We're in charge. Moving on. Dev
No, you don't need to move on.
As an armor preview.
You don't need to move on. What were you asking me?
If you had any thoughts about anything that we were just talking about.
What'd you talk about?
This
right,
TWID.
Yeah, we're moving on.
No. I talked about that stuff. I was talking about things in the transmog and the announcements, and I like the Bright Dust Ingram decryption. I think that's great because people are gonna want to earn all that shit. Like people are gonna play this game for years, so they're gonna want to earn all that Bright Ingram shit. I think that's great that you can actually, make it a little bit easier and easier and easier. I didn't read this shit about Eververse Ingram 0BD. What does this mean?
They're changing how you acquire Bright Dust, basically. And you can't get Bright Dust from focusing your Eververse Ingrams. You have to raw dog.
Well, and you're now spending Bright Dust on focusing the Eververse Engrams.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to guarantee exotic weapon ornaments, it's going to cost you a Eververse engram, and 900 bright dust.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see it now. So that's how you focus. It costs you 300 bright dust, 600, and for those types of things. Okay. Do you get a list of shit you don't have anywhere?
It's on a knockout system.
Supposedly, it's on a knockout.
I know, but
system.
I'd like to know. So I'd like to be able to look at it in game which ones that I have and which ones I don't.
Inside of collections now, you are now able to view by class every single exotic ornament that is available for the class.
Okay, but I was hoping it would just be like the bright dust engram. You don't have these. You don't have these 6.
We don't know. You might be able to go into more details. I know there's some engrams in the game. When you focus, you're able to go and peer into the details of the actual engram to be able to see what's potential to drop. Some of them you can't. They didn't announce that or show any UI interface to glean that from.
Rest assured, Greener, the first time you go to do this, all right, you're going to get an exotic ornament that you already have because the knockout protection is not going to be working. And you're right.
There is a right click for details on engrams in that screen, so there might be a way of being able to look into seeing it.
I'll wait a week. Correct.
Greener's going to do that shit, and he's going to be like, "This is the ornament I am currently wearing that you just gave me."
Be my luck. Okay, yeah. So no, all that stuff. There's almost nothing on here that I don't like. Especially all the new armor for everything. I know it's like the last set of armor we're getting for everything, but still, it's nice.
Oh,
it's nice.
And there is they didn't really talk about what the cost is going to be. There is one last thing Bungie is asking you to pay for, and that is the Triumphant Reward Pass. There is a new paid reward pass. So they didn't talk about it being paid, but they did say that there's a free track, which means there's a paid track.
Hopefully, if you are somebody who bought the annual pass already for the final year,
that's part of Shadow and Order.
You hopefully will just get it.
They shouldn't do it. So fuck it. Charge everyone $100 for it. Just at the end. And you know what? They should. You know what they should do? They should be like, if enough people buy this, we'll get Destiny 3. And then a bunch of fucking people would pay $100 for it. I don't care what anyone says.
People will make new accounts just to buy more of it.
Shadow Wolf. Shadow Wolf's already on top of it. If you already have the annual pass, you get it. Otherwise, it's $10.
Okay.
They should up to $200.
All right. Dev insights, abilities, and armor.
Crowdsourcing through silver.
Greener, are you going to show these videos for the new abilities as we go, or are we just going to talk about them?
Holy moly!
There's multiple videos in this Dev Insight.
Yep.
All right, you make a decision. I'm going right into it.
I could show them.
I can't wait for Greener to make a decision. I'm just getting into it. All right. New subclass abilities. Titans, you are getting a new Sunbreaker ability called Shield Burst. It's a new aspect. What this is going to do is you're going to drop a towering barricade. You're going to slap some solar C4 on it. And when you cast the barricade, it's going to shoot out ahead of you. And then whenever you want to, you can either chase it down and advance with it. That's what they said they want you to do, even though it's really not going to be used that way. But when it gets to wherever you want it to go, you're going to be able to detonate that bitch and blow up a bunch of stuff. So really, it's a big grenade that moves out, presumably will do damage as it moves through enemies, just like a barricade does, and then you can blow it up whenever you want to blow it up. It's pretty cool. Hopefully the damage is good. I really would like to see a damage strat that is like 6 Solar Titans just throwing barricades at a boss. That would be great. I would enjoy that quite a bit. The blast will interact with all of the usual things. You want to create sunspots? You can do it. You want to get in there and do roaring flames? Go for it. Knock yourselves out. Whatever you want to do. All right, it's pretty cool. Hunters, gunslingers.
Hold on, you only read half of that. The second half is where I'm excited. The rally barricade also gets benefits to where standing behind your rally barricade, you and your allies get scorching rounds on all solar and kinetic weapons.
Ain't nobody standing behind that except for you.
But it also blows up.
Listen,
it does
Hoppy,
also blow up.
It's going to be you and me being the Titan. We're going to be behind it. Everybody else is going to be off doing other cool shit. Right?
This is the one spot that I'm super excited to use Teraba. Because if I can proc Teraba using that, the amount of ignitions that are happening is going to be wild.
Yep. Should be pretty good. Gunslinger, crack shot. When you activate your class ability, as you're getting ready to activate your class ability, you will be passively targeting enemies that are in front of you by passing your crosshair over them. When you dodge, you will pull a solar pistol, a solar revolver out of your paracausal hip, and you will fire 3 rounds to shoot them as you dodge. It's just part of the activity now.
Mini golden gun.
It's mini golden gun, and if you only target one thing, it'll shoot 3 times. So I can, depending on the amount of damage this does, I can totally see it working into a damage rotation. The only thing with it is the damage is going to scale with your class ability. I think for most hunters that's going to be fine because it's probably going to be 100 most of them anyway.
According to this video, it does about 1/3. Each shot does about 1/3 of a grenade.
Yeah, I mean we'll see.
So it also scales off your class stat, so we don't know what their class stat is in those videos. Also, it gives you healing. So if you land all 3 shots, you get a proc of cure. So
and
good healing more healing on Solar Hunter.
You can also do it in the air because as we'll talk about later, you can dodge in the air now.
Yes, you can.
Warlocks, you're getting a Void Siphon, which basically means you're going to throw your Void Melee, you're going to hit some shit, and then you're going to do some hentai shit to everything around whatever you hit. You're going to pull out both your hands, and some tentacles are going to go out and do some inappropriate things to all the enemies around, and you're going to get an Overshield and some Devour and all kinds of good stuff.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
This animation is exactly the same as Triage from Marathon.
Is that surprising?
He has an alt ability where he shoots out little tentacles out of like his hand and it revives somebody. It's the exact same. Like the animation is identical.
I have not seen enough hentai to know where this is going, but some of you listen now.
New darkness subclass grenades.
This is pretty cool.
We're getting a new shatter grenade that it will stick to targets and explode in razor sharp stasis shrapnel. And if you hit it against already frozen targets, it deals increased damage. So if you, I see this personally pairing extremely well with Titan Behemoth. Yeah. Because if you do the slide melee and then chuck this grenade, that's going to probably do a lot of damage.
Yep. All the shrapnel will bounce off solid objects as well. So if you do this in a small enclosed space, you're going to do a lot of damage. Slice wire grenades, sir?
Yeah, so Thread Runner, or rather our Strand subclass, wow, words, is getting a new slice wire grenade. The grenade's it bounces and releases multiple threads and severs targets. It looks like a miniature version of what the hunter is already able to do with tangles. It doesn't have any kind of sustaining, but being able to just on grenade, on command, sever targets is pretty significant, pretty nice to see.
This gives me big, like, skip grenades except green vibes and severing everything instead of jolting them. But still cool. I like it. Looks pretty good. Greener leaves. The fucking Hunter main leaves just as we're going to talk about Phantom Surge. What a loser. All right, tell us about Phantom Surge.
All right, so Phantom Surge is the Hunter's new Void Melee. This is going to... It appears to be a straight line kind of melee. It does multi-target and multi-hit, as well as it doing significantly increased damage to void debuff targets or targets that are marked by On the Prowl. So ultimately, this seems like just an overall buff to the Void kit for hunters, so you're not going to be stuck with a smoke grenade anymore. Your melees are going to be able to do some significant damage in comparison to just using smoke. This is good to see, but it doesn't tell the entire picture of how the Void kit's changing on hunters. We'll get further into that with how things like Trapper's Ambush is being modified.
I mean, just roll into it. The ability reworks are next.
So the first major ability rework they talk about is Trapper's Ambush, to where when you activate it, you are now going to be significantly damaging targets now on the ground. The big piece of this is that Trapper's Ambush right now is no longer going to give you invisibility. So the only way that the hunters are going to be able to proc invisibility now on command is through dodging. Trapper's Ambush will re-up the invisibility, but it will not actually give invisibility. I am very interested to see how this particularly interacts with the hunter chess piece of Omnioculus, because that was always a fairly potent combination of just being able to make your entire fire team or your Crucible fire team invisible with a singular Trapper's Ambush. So we'll have to wait and see how that functions.
All right, so Ward of Dawn. You ever have a situation where you're using Ward of Dawn and you pop that bubble by accident and it's not in the right place? Well, listen, Destiny, Bungie has got you covered, because now you're going to be able to pick up your Ward of Dawn and chuck it across the arena to wherever you want it to go. Ward of Dawn. All right. It's going to do all the stuff that you're used to doing. All right. You are going to get a Void Overshield now for being in it without having a perk, without having an aspect on that gives that. So you will get a Void. You'll get a Void Overshield for being on it that will last after you leave it. All right. You're getting increased weapon damage. We don't know if the Weapons of Light bonus is actually going up. They don't specifically say one way or the other here. But the Weapons of Light bonus is going to persist for an amount of time after you leave. And the Helm of Saint 14 is going to make that last longer now. And then you will be applying a Void debuff to enemies that come into the bubble. So there is a world now where it might be useful to throw your bubble at a boss and have everybody do damage from inside the thing. I think it's going to do suppression rather than weaken. I believe that's what it says.
Yes.
But suppression is still useful for incoming damage. So pretty interesting. It's getting a much larger radius. It's going to last longer than it was before. So maybe it will be worthwhile. Also, if you chuck that bubble, enemies that are fairly close to it, like the edge of the bubble, whenever it lands, it's going to suck them into the bubble and immediately suppress them. So you can then run in there and go ham. The Titan himself who throws it, who has it, and this may apply to other Void Titans on your team, will get greatly enhanced melee damage, so long as they have the buffs from the bubble or when they're in the bubble. So there you go.
14 interaction.
What's that? Go ahead.
Okay. So Helm of Saint 14 is also being reworked with this. It is now going to be extending the time that Ward of Dawn is out. And it also allows for you and your allies to take weapons of light outside of the dome.
Yep.
Specifically on Helm of Saint 14, that's the thing that I'm kind of
okay. Maybe not. All right.
Yeah, the thing I'm kind of worried about is did they confirm that Weapons of Light's going to function outside of the dome without Helm of Saint 14?
I don't think they have.
So that might be where the balance of this is that it's no longer going to be pop into the bubble, pop out, you have Weapons of Light, and you can just go ham. You may have to now be in the bubble to have and maintain Weapons of Light. Outside, unless your Titan is running Helm of Saint 14. But I guess on to the next piece. Warlock Broodweaver strand is being updated, specifically the Mind Spun invocation regarding the Threadling Grenade. No longer are you going to consume a Threadling Grenade to proc 5 perched Threadlings. it's now going to be thrown, and a threadling nest will spawn, much like the heavy machine gun service of Luzaku from Lawless. Yeah, season 28 Lawless.
Yep.
So it's going to just steadily spawn threadlings during its life. We do know that it does interact with the service of Luzaku, so you can use the ability of the exotic machine gun to maintain the uptime on that nest. So it could be rather interesting to see how this interacts, and I'm interested to see how many nests I can get up and maintain at once.
It looks like each nest will spawn a total of 6 threadlings as well. It'll spawn 3 off the rip, and then it'll spawn 3 more, 1 at a time, over time afterwards.
Assuming you don't maintain it with the heavy machine gun. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. All right.
I know you were excited about this one.
Yeah, I really am. I really am excited about the stasis overhaul. Let's talk about stasis. The big thing that's happening with stasis as an ability overhaul is how you use the harvest stuff that is currently in stasis. So right now, harvest is collecting shards, generating shards, collecting shards, and then getting frost armor because of that. Number 1, all stasis subclasses are going to create shards just as part of being on stasis. You're not going to have to do anything special to be generating shards. Anytime you break a stasis crystal or shatter a frozen enemy or defeat a slowed enemy, you're going to be generating stasis crystals. All right. When you have a harvest aspect on, you're going to automatically get frost armor when you pick up a shard. And when you have frost armor, if you shoot an enemy or defeat an enemy with a stasis or a kinetic weapon, it's going to automatically shatter them. You don't have to have any weapon perk to make that happen. So
chance to shatter.
Just having stasis, yes, chance to shatter. Just having the aspect on is what will shatter your enemies. Taking damage is going to generate ability energy. And the kind of energy you generate will depend on your class. Titans it's melee, Warlocks it's grenade, Hunters it's class. But they are reducing the fragment slots from your harvest abilities. Now frost armor stacks will now come off 1 at a time, so you won't lose everything when the timer's up. You'll just lose 1 stack, and each stack is going to give you progressively more DR all the way up to 35%. So I really like the synergy they're building into the frost armor now with the harvest aspects. Anytime you have an ability to be like doing like weapon perk things without actually having the weapon perk, it just means you open up a lot of extra options on the weapon. Like I really like Headstone, but I'm not a huge fan of Corpse Bloom. But if I'm playing Stasis and I'm using a Stasis weapon, I'm much more likely to use Corpse Bloom now than I would be Headstone, because I depending on how often you're getting the shatter, but I'll be shattering things anyway without having to have Headstone available, right? So I'll still be getting those explosions. I think that's really, really cool. And now we go into like the ability balance changes. There's a lot here. Mm-hmm. I don't think we need to cover all of them, but we can hit some high points. So
yeah, pretty high point on the Warlock side is the changes to Heat Rises and Icarus Dash, being that the solar side of Warlock has always been the transition loadout for speedrunners or anybody just trying to move fast in content. The fact that Icarus Dash is giving an additional fragment slot and that Heat Rises is no longer going to be a detriment to those that run Burst Glide is pretty significant.
Yeah. The main like kind of downside that's in all of the Warlock stuff is that your buddies are getting a bit of a nerf. Their ability to apply elemental effects are being put on a timer. So your arc buddies, for example, they're not going to just jolt everything in existence when they shoot it. They'll jolt, and then there'll be a 4-second internal timer before they can jolt again. I think they're still probably good, but depending on there's going to be some ability like cooldown adjustments that are going to make some abilities harder to get back than they are now. It's going to take a little bit longer. That cooldown plus this reduction, it's gonna, it looks on paper like it's gonna have a meaningful impact on how your buddy builds feel, but we will have to wait and see till we actually have it in our hands.
Oh, other massive change that is huge for Warlocks. Hey, Greener, how many times have you had somebody throw a Nova Bomb in front of you and then your bullets get eaten by it?
None that I can remember.
So it is pretty common in damage phases that if a Warlock uses Cataclysm Nova, the large Nova that spawns off Seekers, it would block shots from your teammates. So if you were doing like a rocket rotation and somebody threw that Nova Bomb, you could blow yourself up with your own rocket. Okay. Your allies' projectiles now go straight through that Nova Bomb.
Yep.
So that is completely changed. Cool. And as far as the buddy builds are changing, the only buddy that I noticed that is being actually modified is Arc itself. The notable piece is that the Jolt is putting on that timer, being only now able to jolt 5 targets in a single proc of Getaway Artist is a fairly significant drop off in terms of its ad clearing ability. So it'll be interesting to see.
All right, let's go to Titans. Listen, there's a lot of shit here for Titans, but there's really only one that matters. Listen,
Thruster
Titans.
in the air.
Listen, Titans. I heard you want Twilight Garrison back. Well, guess what? You're getting Twilight Garrison back. Thruster on Arc Titan will be able to be activated while you're in the air. You don't even need a chest piece. You can just Twilight all you want so long as you're on Arc. I think that's pretty cool. So there you go. There's some other stuff in here, but that's the only one that
Unbreakable
really
change is pretty nuts.
Unbreakable gives you Devour. I don't really care who's going to be on Void when you have Twilight Garrison. All right?
I knew you were going to say that.
Especially with the exotic armor change on Titans as well with Twilight Garrison. That's going to be a really fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The only other notable thing is that like when you're in Behemoth, if you have Cryoclasm and you slide, if you've had the stasis slide bonus on any activity since the Nether that fired off the stasis waves in front of you, Cryoclasm is going to do that now. So, yeah, all right, pretty good. Hunter, let's talk about Hunters.
I was going to just
something for Titan.
Shoulder charges across the board are getting doubled in their damage at base.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I got Thruster. That's all I care about.
Okay.
Hunters. Listen, Hunters. Somebody told me that you Hunters would also like to have Twilight Garrison. Well, guess what, Hunters? You're also getting Twilight Garrison because you're going to be able to activate Acrobat's Dodge while you're in the air, if you so desire. So that's the long dodge, obviously, but you won't have to be on the ground in order to activate it. So that's pretty cool. I think that it'll make it another like down dodge kind of utility ability.
Better woven mail uptime on Strain as well. Be good for survivability on Hunters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see some things. On the Prowl is going to passively acquire targets. If you're not invisible, you don't have to be invisible for On the Prowl to proc. It's pretty cool. Mobius Quiver's getting nerfed when used with crossbows. Kind of sad, but it is what it is. Your proximity knives are getting bigger booms and more damage. So, I forget the name of the arms now. If you're a fan of Calibans, you're probably going to be eating pretty good. Let's see here. There was another one. Ascension damage is now going to be scalable, and it will be able to scale with your class stat. So that's pretty good. You'll be able to increase the damage on Ascension, which I appreciate because I really like the Ascension ability. Yeah, there you go. All right. General abilities. I don't know if there's anything in here that really needs to be covered.
There's a couple.
Well,
Scatternades are being fairly nerfed right now. So those that were used to using Warlock, nothing manical builds, I'm sorry, that build's kind of dumpstered now.
That's a nothing maniacal thing, though. Not an
just
ability thing.
Well, the chase distance versus players on the PvP side and the amount of grenade energy that it gets back from perks. So that is getting pretty hard hit. Hunter grapple melee builds on boss DPS are, have fun doing that with 50% less damage.
Yeah, so grapple melee damage bonus scaling from grenades from the grenade stat is being reduced by 50%. And against boss combatants, the damage bonus you get from grenade and melee stat are additive with each other, not multiplicative. So that is a reduction in damage.
Couple of other pieces because of the changes on how weapons are doing.
Don't get all upset, Greener. You've never even done this build.
But it's the end of the game. Leave the fun, strong shit in. Like, it makes no sense.
Remember that time I watched you try to...
Yes, I fucked it up because I'm bad, okay?
Try to one-shot that boss, and you didn't even have the build on?
I was like 32 fucking hours into an Extra Life stream. Leave me alone.
Brother, we told you while you were doing it, you need to change your build, and you're like,
my brain stopped working.
So because of champion changes and interactions with weapons, the interactions with subclass verbs are no longer interacting with champions. So volatile rounds no longer do barrier, radiant no longer does barrier. Those kind of things are all gone for those that interact with weapons. We do know that things like shatter are now going to stun unstops again. Those kind of pieces are still staying intact. One other piece is because of the loss of the interaction with the champion type or champion ability, volatile rounds now and radiant both increase their damage versus champions by 10%. So that's a nice additive change in comparison. The last piece here is where probably the biggest hit to all of these different builds comes in, and it's the reduction in the passive ability cooldown by approximately 20% across the board, and the reduction in the maximum active ability cooldown bonus from 190% to 125%. So it is pretty clear based off of even their comments on X that their intent is to get away from an ability-based game and trying to help prioritize better weapons or having a better balance of weapons and ability instead of it just being the dodge hunter punch build from back in Heresy. That kind of thing.
I still do that now, except for there's Tempest in it.
That probably is not going to be nearly as effective as it once was.
Yeah.
Just because of these ability cooldown reductions.
There is another one here.
It'll be fine.
One absolutely massive change for boss rotations.
Oh, the supers.
That your super ability generation from doing damage to bosses is being reduced by 60%. So if you were used to getting like 3 supers in a boss rotation, I suspect there's no chance of you getting that to happen again. Maybe 2 in a long boss rotation. All right, but not tons of supers like you were using before. So get those weapons sorted out for your boss damage, folks. All right. Armor 3.0. We are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more archetypes. Health and grenade, melee and weapons, grenade and class, super and health, class and melee, and weapons and super. It's cool that there's all these new combos coming out, but listen, you and I both know that the only 2 that really matter on this list are Colossus, which is super and health for PvP, and Powerhouse, which is weapons and super for PvE. Now,
No,
I
want Skirmisher.
If you're a weirdo like our resident Phonic Phantom, you now have the option to make whatever weird ass off meta build you want. All right. And it'll be easier to get the stats you want because you're going to have more combinations that are going to give you the big bonuses where you want.
Yeah, but
I know
I'm gonna have more stuff in my vault.
that was my comment about vault space becoming more of an issue because of these new archetypes. People who are wanting to have like real full sets and availability to just being able to change things at will, they're no longer going to have the capability of doing that. For those that didn't read this fully, and I don't know if Greener's willing to click on them, those are hot links. Those are not just colors. We also have more additional set bonuses that we now know what are going to happen from this article. So we now know the set bonus from Savathun's Throne World. We also know the set bonus from Europa. We have the set bonus. We already knew that the Reverie Dawn set bonus. Did we know that before?
We had Reverie Dawn. This isn't just Shattered Throne. This is also
that's just World.
Yeah, it's World. No, we didn't have all of it, right?
Yeah, we didn't have Reverie Dawn. We also get Neomuna. We get Nessus.
Yep.
I don't recall where that set drops from. The First Ascent. You remember that?
That's the Pale Heart.
Okay, Pale Heart. So we know what all those bonuses are. I don't want to necessarily go into detail on every one of them, but those are out there now. People understand what are going on with much more of the incoming set bonuses.
And there's some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, it's really neat.
There's some cool stuff in there. I don't think anything in there is like build defining.
Yeah,
but there's a bunch of cool bonuses built into there to support various ways to play. So they do recognize that this doesn't cover all the possible 30 archetypes that there could be with weapon stat combos, but there's not going to be more. So this
I read that and it was like, yeah, we know. Fuck off.
So, there is a question in here about isn't it going to be harder to grind armor now? They say no because the focusing you can do with your ghost is getting a boost, and it's supposed to drastically increase the chances of getting the type of armor you want. Listen. I will believe it when it actually happens, and I'm not 23 raids deep and haven't gotten a piece of the armor I have on my ghost. All right.
Yeah. It's supposed to be now a 50-50 shot versus a 33%. So
I can tell you from personal experience, I never felt like 1 in 3 was the type of armor I wanted.
Did not feel like it. Nope, not at all.
So when they say 50-50, I'm putting a big old asterisk right next to that says your mileage may vary. All right.
So exotic armor. All exotic armor now is going to be tier 5 with one caveat. Anything that has not been acquired in the new armor 3.0 system of the archetypes is not going to be just instantly that's not getting brought into the tiered system. But that does mean that all new anytime you get a new exotic armor, it is guaranteed to be tier 5, no matter where it drops from. The other massive benefit here is all exotic armor are going to get access to all tuning mods. So the only thing you really have to worry about now, or the only two things you need to worry about now with regards to exotic armor farming, is what archetype it dropped with and what tertiary stat is dropping with the archetype. After you have that, you now can put on any armor tuning mod to give you that additional buff that you want to your stats, and you're moving forward. So at least on the exotic armor side, we're going to be able to get to where you're wanting pretty quickly.
Yep.
We then get into set bonus changes. There's 2 set bonuses, particularly that they are one, they're nerfing, one, they're buffing. Smoke Jumper is taking a damage resistance nerf. For anybody who hasn't used the Smoke Jumper set, it's basically free damage resistance, up to 50% damage resistance. It was kind of crazy. They're only bringing it down to 40%, so it's still going to be a fairly strong set. And it was purely driven off of Orbs of Power. And Orbs of Power are so easy to generate now. They're considerably easier to generate now than in the past of Destiny. So still a great set to go with. And then you have the Wayward Psyche set out of Desert Perpetual. I'm pretty sure, I'm double checking. It is the Epic Desert Perpetual set. The Epic Desert Perpetual set is getting a buff to where it is increasing the amount of healing that it gives from one of its set bonuses. It's actually doubling the healing, so it was 15 per second, now it's 30 per second, which is a fairly significant buff.
Yeah.
Though it remains not changed in PvP for you Crucible crackheads.
All right, let's go through some exotic armor balancing. There's also a ton here. I think we should only hit a few of them.
Shards of Galanor!
Let's start with Hunter. Shards of Galanor, go ahead. Shards of Galanor is probably one
Shards of Galanor is now the Curus of the Falling Star for Hunters on Blade Barrage.
Yeah.
If you land 5 to 7 knives on any volley, it's going to cause a solar explosion. And this is separate on both volleys. So you can proc both explosions on the same target based on how they're reading this. And if you do, it is comparable to Curus the Falling Star damage according to this. I'm putting a giant asterisk to that until we see some damage testing.
That said,
Boom.
Let's talk about the favorite Hunter DPS rotation exotic in the current meta, which is Yield Lucky Pants. I'm sorry, boys, but this damage rotation is maybe time to retire it. Like, you already lost your grapple melee, but let me tell you what's happening with Lucky Pants. Uncivil Discourse's damage bonus from Lucky Pants is no longer going to get the full, 4.5%. It's getting cut to a maximum of 2.5% damage. And
2.5x, but yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 times. Yeah. And your bonus damage against bosses is being cut across the board from Lucky Pants by 33%. So you probably will still have parity with other classes, but if you were using this strat to solo witness, I don't know if that's going to be possible anymore.
So effectively speaking, if we do the rough math on this, you are going to be doing in the neighborhood of about 20% of the damage that you are currently doing against bosses with Uncivil Discourse.
Yeah. It's
not a 20% reduction. You are going to do 20% of your current maximum.
Yeah, it's big time nerf to the old Lucky Pants precision damage meta. There are a couple of people in 7 that were shedding some tears earlier today, seeing what's coming on Tuesday. So.
Shards of Galanor, we're fine.
Yep.
Okay,
moving on to Titans. Pyrogales is getting a pretty significant buff. I'm very excited to see how Pyrogales is going to function. It's going to be an all-around just really, really strong super choice now for Solar Titans, with it getting a increase on the amount of scorch damage per tick on top of the 10% buff to its explosion damage, and it getting just better tracking overall. So,
all right, so
pretty nice to see.
There's one Titan exotic I want to talk about, but I just want to say in general, the Titan exotics, all the Titan exotics that interact with abilities, and mostly are giving ability energy. All of them are getting buffs across the board, and anything that had limits on it, like Severance and Closure, no backup plans, whatever, those limits are getting taken off. Things that reduce them are getting taken off.
Yep.
But the really, really the most interesting thing, we already talked about Helm of Same 14, but really the most interesting thing is what they're doing with the Practic Vestment. Unclear if Practic Vestment is going to be a meme still or not. I suspect it's still going to be a meme because you still have to charge up the melee, but the melee attack you get from doing arc damage while you have Practic Vestments on is getting its damage increased by 500%. It's going to be the largest melee damage bonus that Titans have available to them. Whether or not it's a meme fully comes down to how quickly you can charge this stuff. They're also going to make the flying around as the jetpack a better experience. They're making it faster to get into flight. They're making it easy to control it. They're taking some of the jank out that used to exist. Like if you touch the wall, it would do some crazy things to what's going on your screen. Like that stuff's going to be going away. But it's getting a massive damage bonus, like bigger than Syntheseps gives you. Or I think it's also bigger. I think the max that Worm Gods give, Worm Gods capped at 400% now.
So I think you may be misreading this. It's not buffing melee damage.
It's the melee attack that comes from the practice.
It's increasing that base melee from there. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. Which was already, it was underwhelming damage that it was doing.
Yeah.
Right?
I just don't know. Like, I don't think it's going to compete with things like Worm Gods.
I mean, we have to see how it's doing. I don't think it will either, but this is still the most interesting thing I see on all the Titan changes. Like, it's giving one exotic that's kind of been like a meme, possibly some hope to not be a meme. I still think it's going to be a meme, but it'll be a meme that'll give a satisfying damage number.
So to put it in, because I'm looking at community insights right now on it. Right now, it does 336 damage when you collide with an enemy as you are flying. So that means you're going to be doing 1,680 damage now. Yeah. Mind you, that's before any other scalers are involved or like that's base. But they're also making it. You brought up the fact that you still need to charge it. They're making charging easier. One great change that they're doing is the fact that now knockout kills are considered power melee kills for that particular exotic. So if you just run knockout, you're probably going to have that up and running pretty significantly fast.
Which is why I put out there that it's still up in the air how much of a meme this is going to be. Again, I still think it's going to be a meme, but it should at least be an impressive meme when you pull it off. It might be worth running through like conquests or whatever. I don't think it's going to be probably a worthwhile thing to have in raids, but
especially with the ability uptime changes that they're doing, I think it's definitely still going to be a meme. But another note for Titans, those of you that like using Prismatic, specifically using your Twilight Arsenal on Prismatic, go get yourself a Stoicism with Star Eater scales on it, because you are getting a buff from 25 to 50% specifically on Twilight Arsenal with Spirit of Star Eater. I think that could be significant change for damage strats for Titans.
Yep. And you no longer have to be wearing a Stoicism exotic that looks like ass on your hip. You can change
this is true.
Something else. Let's go on to Warlocks. Why don't you talk about Metaiodoxia, buddy?
Yeah! Metaiodoxia is being brought back to what it once was. It is now going to be equivalent, according to them, to Curse of the Falling Star Thunder Crash. So, much like when Metaiodoxia got its initial buff, before it then subsequently got nerfed again, now the Strand Super for Warlock is going to feel pretty strong again. The next major change is Skull of Dire Ahamkara. So we knew that.
Let me ask: have you ever wanted to throw not one but two Nova Bombs? Have you ever wanted to throw not two Nova Bombs but effectively four Nova Bombs? Well, guess what? Skull of Dire Ahamkara has got you covered.
This is going to have a huge skill ceiling, though. So, the benefit of Skull of Dire Ahamkara now is that as you cast your specifically Cataclysm Nova Bomb, you then get access to a Nova Lance. if you are successful in landing the Nova Lance into the Cataclysm Nova Bomb, it pops the Cataclysm Nova Bomb, turning it into a Vortex Nova, and also still spawning the Cataclysm Seekers. So this is going to be tricky to do because you're going to want to make sure that you are timing when you throw the Lance to make sure that the Vortex is going to be still hitting the target that you're trying to land your super on. But obviously, if you wait too long, your Cataclysm Nova is just going to collide with the target and pop on its own.
Yep. So what I foresee happening is a lot of Nova Bombs being thrown and a lot of Nova Lances being thrown and not hit their target and shit just flying everywhere. But if you want to blow your Nova load all over a boss now, and you have good aim, you can definitely make that shit happen.
So one change for another exotic that I'm very excited about is Mantle of Battle Harmony. This is going to be great inside of damage rotations on various different DPS environments. Because of that change that we talked about previously of the 60% reduction in super regeneration from just attacking targets, Mantle of Battle Harmony now is going to give super energy based off of sustained damage, not just final blows. So rotating into a Mantle of Battle Harmony during a damage phase, you could be able to get yourself a second or potential third super during that time frame if your hope is getting more and more supers up.
Yeah. The only other two that I really want to mention have both a similar problem. So if you're a Void Grenade enjoyer and you rock either Nothing Manacles or Controverse Hold, I apologize. I'm sending you flowers, but both of them are getting, both Nothing Manacles and Controverses are getting hit. Nothing Manacles will no longer be able to have your Scatter Grenades spawn extra Seekers off Seekers. It'll only happen off the initial wave of Seekers, and then that's it. So the days of you being able to clear an entire room with one grenade, they're gone. They are pushing up daisies. Time to give a eulogy on that shit. And Controverse Hold, its damage return is being reduced by 15%. Whether or not that's going to really matter for throwing back-to-back grenades, on top of the grenade ability regen debuffs, is yet to be seen. I will find it interesting that any of the things that were nerfed on ability regen are still going to be able to have 100% uptime if you have 100 in the stat. But based off the numbers I'm seeing, I suspect not. I think probably the only one that even Titans with hammers may not be able to just back-to-back hammer throw. There may be a delay again because of the ability regen nerfs. Yep. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope that's not the case because Titan Hammer Titan without instant regen feels fucking terrible.
So one other one on Warlock, and I apologize. Yes, I'm a Warlock man. I was very much paying attention to all these armor changes. Dawn Chorus. Dawn Chorus is bringing Daybreak back to its glory days. Daybreak is going to do not just a ton of damage, but it also has some massive potential on just clearing rooms really quickly and then getting your energy back. So those of you who like just blowing up a ton of rooms with ignitions on Warlock, take a look at Dawn Chorus.
All right. Final article. We're on to This Week in Destiny. 4/6/4/26.
We made it! We made it!
We're here.
We made it. And
Greener,
this one,
you take this one, Greener, because it's new.
Yeah, this one's pretty short and pretty straightforward. But I gotta say, you know what Bungie does best is trailers, because this trailer that they launched today was really good. I don't know, it hit me in the feels. What?
What do you mean it was good?
I liked it.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Fuck you. What's wrong with it?
The very first thing is like, hey, Guardians, just want you to know all this shit you've been dealing with the 9 and this new order of dudes with these regents. Guess what?
It's good. It's over.
It all sorted itself out. You didn't need to do anything. Everything's fine. The Earth is healing again.
You're right. Back. But all the stuff after that. All the stuff after that.
Greener.
What?
if you really enjoyed this trailer,
Yeah.
respectfully, and you know what? Not even respectfully, disrespectfully, fuck you.
Bro, I thought it was great. I'm sorry. I watched it. It had all the good shit that Bungie does. You know, when they do their trailers, they match it up with the sounds. It's all perfect. It's great. I don't know. I felt great when watching it, and I literally commented on the YouTube video, and I'm like,
simp.
Oh, whatever. Fuck off, man. You're too dramatic. Anyway, so
this is categorically the worst trailer they've ever put out for any update.
No, he tells me to talk, and then he's like, "Fuck you." Whatever you say is absolutely wrong. Anyway, this is your fault. You started me. You don't like the trailer. Now I feel like I have to watch it again to see if it's as bad as you're making it out to be.
Cut out the first 35 seconds. I'm okay with it.
Okay, see, I watched it. Well, how else are they going to explain it? They're just going to leave all that shit in the air, tied? I mean,
they have already stated they're going to leave. They've already stated they're going to leave open endings, so they could have very well stated like, "Hey, by the way, this stuff that's going on with the 9, we don't know what's going on next. We heard rumblings in the distance, but we don't know what the next steps are. So now we're going to concentrate on healing the earth." Like, they could have done it in any number of ways, but just kind of wave it off of like, "Yeah, nothing's happening. Everything's good."
Hey, listen, Guardians. Listen, Guardians. I know you didn't kill Dredge and Bale. He's still out there. But surely he's not doing anything important. He gave up. You know what? He went to therapy. He's feeling good about not being a Guardian anymore. And, you know, the 9 that was using him as a herald, he said, "You know what, bro? I'm going to give you a little severance package and go live your best life." Meanwhile, Premier Loom, who was like, I will be back for my revenge when he noped out of the final battle of the campaign. He was like, "You know what? I don't have any problem with the Guardians. I'm just going to take my new special anti-Guardian tech that just kills you because you have light. I'm going to go back to Tor Bottle or something, you know? You guys are actually pretty nice. So let's just shake hands and let's be bygones, all right? Everybody's healing, right? It's all good."
Listen, I gotta ask you, what did you think was gonna happen? Did you think Bungie was gonna take all of the enemies and attack the tower?
It would have been a lot better for them to just not say anything than be
not say anything. Okay,
I guess, be like, yeah. "Hey, guess what, Guardians? All those problems we were dealing with, they resolved themselves. You didn't need to be involved."
Maybe the problems aren't resolved. Maybe they're just chill for now.
It doesn't matter that over the last 8 years, we've had to have you and you specifically go out and resolve all of our major problems. As it turns out, if you would have just left that shit alone, if you would have just left Gaul alone, he would have been like, "You know what? I don't really want the Traveler's Light. I'm just going to leave." It'd been fine. If we had just let Savathun alone, she'd be like, "You know what? I don't really want to steal the Traveler. I'm just going to go do my own thing." You know, that's just what would have happened. Everything you did, who gives a fuck? It would have sorted itself out. That's what this trailer says. The Traveler having a big hole cutting in it. Listen, the Witness wasn't in there to take over the Traveler and end all of existence. Nah. He just wanted to go hug it out with the Gardener. That's all.
Well, and also now the Traveler somehow just has completely healed itself and now come back to Earth.
Yeah.
Let's not leave that out.
All right. I'm done. Rant over.
Rant over.
You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good, bro?
Yeah. Trailer sucked. Greener is 100% wrong. That is not subjective or opinion. He's just qualitatively incorrect about what he just said about it being good.
See, my issue with what you're saying right now is you're taking it too serious. I watched this trailer thinking about all the awesome stuff that's coming to the game.
Oh my God. Motherfucker. I have 12,000 fucking hours of this shit, not counting my Destiny 1 hours, you piece of shit. Of course I care about the game.
I care about the game too. I understand that. Not as much as you.
Shit about the story. You don't give a shit about the lore. You are the please give me fucking anime waifu skins for this game. I don't care if they break. Wrecked, you and your wanting the art style to stay the same is dumb. Just give me jiggle physics in this game, and it would be great. And it'll probably say, "Now, fuck you."
You want to know something? You want to know something?
Fuck what you think about the game.
Skins in Eververse would have saved Destiny 2.
No, fuck off. It would have pulled in the wrong type of people, the people that actually know what those tentacles lead to next. All right, that's who it would have pulled in. All right,
the 9. That's where they lead. Anyway, okay. Well, with all that said, yeah, I don't care about the lore. I didn't care about that they ended the storylines up too fast. I enjoyed it for what it was. I apologize for that. I thought that was cool. The SRL stuff.
Apology not accepted.
Oh my god, I'm talking to everyone else except for you. Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking about this fucking trailer. I thought it was good. I even commented on the video saying watching this made me realize how fucking stupid Sony is. So
all right, I can agree with that.
Okay. All right. Oh my god. All right. Trailer's bad, everybody. Careful, Shadow. You'll get banned. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have role abusing pussies here in the SGC. I promise. Nowhere. All right, so you want to move on from this trailer that you hate so goddamn much?
I don't care if you play it. You want to play that slop?
I was never going to play it. I wanted to talk. I thought it was good, but never mind. I'm completely wrong, and I'm an idiot.
Listen, it's a Destiny trailer. It's technically good.
Oh my fucking god!
It hits all the normal beats that a trailer normally does, but it still sucks ass. And is the worst trailer they've ever made.
I'm just happy that Gambit only got 2 seconds. Of the nearly 2.25 minute trailer, 2 seconds. 2 seconds is all Gambit gets. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I'll move on from that trailer. It's fine. We're an hour over anyway. We're gonna hit the shit that's in this real quick and then move on. So Monument of Triumph rewards, a bunch of stuff here, but some things that people are gonna get excited over: Chatter White, Super Black, Griffin, and the All-Star Vector Skimmer will now be available again. So if you missed out on it originally, you'll have access to it. This seems really cool. 12 armor ornament sets per class. That seems like a lot, yeah?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's probably everything they were planning to throw in
well, and that's only talking about full sets. There's also additional, and the next bullet is multiple new universal helmet ornaments.
Yeah, it's the armor, the new armor set for, what is it? Not Guardian games, but the equivalent to the one we have that's got the big flaming plume on it that you had to earn. Was that Guardian games?
No,
that was Arms something.
Called Arms.
Yeah. Jesus, I know more than you. That's crazy.
I hate that they wrote the first earnable holo chip in here. You know why it's the first earnable holo chip? Because ain't nobody gonna pay $3 for a holo chip after the game ends.
I would.
Yep.
I'm what you hate about Destiny, aren't I?
You know what, Greener?
Yes.
You know that Twitter list I keep that only has you on it that's called Destiny Meat Writers that I set up as a joke, as
it's not a joke anymore,
to increase engagement. It's not a joke.
Yeah, but I'm still on it. That was like a year ago.
Are a Destiny Meat Writer.
I'm a Bungie Meat Writer, not a Destiny Meat Writer. Bungie shill, baby. Bungie shill. You know how it is. No, I just like playing the game with people. Even though you guys claim I don't play it a lot, I do play it enough that I enjoy it. Shitheads. All right. Yes, the new Universal Health Ornament, including a new flaming helmet, some weird ass name I'm not gonna say. The first earnable holo chip. We all know how Rec feels about that. Hopefully it's cool and then not a boring one like those fucking stupid ass wings one. Holy Christ, that's dumb as shit.
I hope it has a bug where when you turn it on, it will never turn off, and they never come around to fix it.
That's fine.
And I hope it's also bad. I hope it's fucking ugly on top of it.
I'll just never turn it on. I've never turned on any of my fake ones, or like my trial chips. My trial chips.
Cat ears and a tail.
Green I mean, all over that shit. I hope it does get stuck on and never gets off, because the only thing that Rex is going to be able to see in the tower is a bunch of fucking cat ears and tails running around. He's going to lose his fucking mind. All right. Anyway, the return of exotic faction ornaments. The return of exotic faction ornaments. I don't even know what those are.
So those are year one ornaments that haven't.
Are we talking about like Dead Orbit stuff?
Yes. Yes. So like, there's I Am Another World ornament called Gaze Beyond Worlds. It's been sold once in the Eververse for Bright Dust on.
Yeah.
I can't remember what season it was, but like I know that one in particular. I always wanted it, couldn't get it because it wasn't available to purchase. Even when they brought it to where you could buy stuff from Archive, it wasn't even seen in collections. So all of those old year one ornaments that were tied to the factions are now coming.
So I don't even remember the exotic ornaments that were tied to the factions. I remember doing
like the Titan one has the Hammer of Soul on your hip all the time. Like there's a flaming hammer that's attached to your hip the whole time. Like that's the kind of stuff it is. It's got exotic effects.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Not like, it's not like it has like exotic abilities or anything. It's exotic because it has
it's an ornament.
It has an interesting ornament effect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you guys think I don't play a lot of Destiny 1 now, you should see me year one. It was worse. So I came along, you know, I started to like the game more and more and more. Kind of like a lot of people, because it started in Forsaken when the game actually got good. But anyway, that's besides the point. I remember doing a bunch of lost sectors during faction weeks. That's all I remember. Because you could do the one in whatchamacallit, the European Dead Zone really, really quickly. You would just spam it over and over again, and you would get the chest with the faction tokens in it. No? The Winding Coves or whatever it's called. Am I the only one that did that? There's no way.
I wasn't around for year one, so yeah, couldn't tell you.
I did all the things in year one, Greener. All of them.
You did what I said? All right, cool. Everybody did that. They would farm that Lost sector in Winding Cove. Is that what it's called? Winding Cove or Winding, whatever, in the European Dead Zone?
Winding Cove.
Winding Cove, yeah. Thank you. All right. Anyway, yep. Where was I? I lost it. Oh, weapon ornament for Turncoat. Our new reward, pass exotic hand cannon. Okay. I was like, what the fuck is Turncoat? It's coming. Fafnir and Heir Apparent exotic weapons.
That's the new.
So those are the two. So Heir Apparent's already been around.
I know what Heir Apparent is. That's why I'm confused.
Turncoat and Fafnir are now going to be are the two newest exotics.
Yeah.
Or I guess our last two new exotics that we're getting. Fafnir is a linear fusion rifle. We don't know what energy type it is. And then Turncoat, there's people who are speculating that the hand cannon that was in the trailer is Turncoat, the void-looking one. But the reason why Heir Apparent is there is because Heir Apparent is only earnable during Guardian games, if I remember correctly. So the fact that they're putting it in here, they're putting it into an earnable spot.
Okay. And a selection of endlessly purchasable engrams containing tiered weapons from Lawless, Reclamation, tiered weapons from Pinnacle Ops, Crucible, Fireteam Ops, Playlist, tiered weapons from Dawning, Festival of Lost. That's really cool. And Guardian games, that's nice. Why did they add Solstice on another line?
Because you're also getting Solstice armor, which is great because of the Lustrous armor set bonus.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that. Okay, so that's good. So everybody can earn all that stuff, which is great. And then you're completing triumphs and spending legendary marks on a bunch of new things. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of categories that you can spend that stuff on to get the rewards that you're looking for. And that's a bunch of armor sets, a bunch of armor ornaments, exotic armor ornaments, vehicles, emotes, the whole gambit. And
Tenets
then
of death, sacrifice, devotion, and bravery.
there's also some that are you have to get specific challenges done. So like Chatterwhite has a specific challenge you need to get done. The Aranar Cornet, which is the new flaming helmet, that's got a specific one. And then there's a whole armor set called the Immortal Legend armor set. I don't think they have the full preview on here, but on X there's a preview of all 3 of the armor sets. They're like it's like medieval armor that makes everybody look like a king. They've all got a crown, a king or a queen, right? They've all got a crown on them, so they're all they have this regal motif on them. So Destiny 2 team posted the full picture.
I saw the photos. I'm not gonna go look for them though. Here's the one that's in the TWID. It's Titan. Looks good though, and all these pages are interesting. So we got. I'm showing them by the way, if you guys are curious. So bravery, which is some of them mean different things. Is this a Crucible one? Or doesn't say anything specifically. Okay. Anyway. That's bravery. It's got all this stuff in it. That's the one with the heir apparent. Obviously, you can see all these cosmetics, exotic cosmetics, and engrams and things. And then the devotion one has got SRL cosmetics, the Griffin, the All Star, Vector Skimmer, and then general emotes and stuff. You can see them all in here. Ghosts and ships and just a bunch of shit in every single one of them. Super Black is in the Tenet of Sacrifice. See all you get the little tokens, you can see them 50 50 50 25. It's crazy that Super Black is 25. That's nuts. Come on, man. Come on, bruv. Sorry, what?
I sent you the large scale image of the full armor sets if you're wanting it. It's in your DMs.
Okay.
Show the people.
Well, while Greener's bringing that up, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Okay.
There they are. They're beautiful, except for the hunter. It doesn't even. It looks like the crown that Sauron would wear, man. Not a regal king or queen. Jeez. I always have to be the villain. Whatever, man.
All right. Bungie Foundation gave a big thanks to everybody that's participated. They indicate that they're going to keep trying to do some kind of fundraising, but they don't really give any details. It's going to be upcoming. Green, do you have any inside information that you can share at this point?
I actually don't have any inside information. Even I would tell you if I had information that I can't say. They basically said this to us already the day that Bungie announced Destiny 2 would be getting its last update. So they said we're still gonna do stuff. We just don't know what it looks like yet.
Yeah. Well, here's what I know. Them being like, hey, you want a cool Rook skin that you can donate money for? That ain't gonna fly. That shit ain't gonna fly. Like,
I mean, the problem is that'll fly for like 10,000 people, 20,000 people. But the thing is, Destiny emblems would bring in, 200,000-300,000 people. Like,
even for people that weren't really actively playing the game very much.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. People would come in and buy that stuff. And there is emblems and shit in that game. They're not the same, but it's that you get for Twitch drops and whatnot. And they'll be able to do some of that stuff if that game continues. But it's not they're gonna have to totally revamp their whole entire concept of how they raise money, because they say it's still gonna be community driven. And then whether it's just going to be like, I don't know. I'm fine with continuing to try to do whatever it is they do, but it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder. because it's already proof. Like, how many game to gives have we done? 3. We raised 10,000, 20,000, and 15,000. We've done 2 Bungie days with 7,000 and 16,000. And then we've done Extra Life forever. And last year was the first year we reached 13. We reached 13,000, and the year before that was like 10 something. The point is, and we raise all the game the gifts and the Bungie days were 3-week periods where we raised money. You saw how much higher those numbers were. For Extra Life, we raised money the entire year, and I never fucking shut up about it. And I'm sure a lot of people know that. They're probably like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, yeah, if it's just going to be go raise money, then I'm just going to stick with Extra Life the entire year, and we're just going to do Extra Life fundraising. If they come up with cool shit for us to do, big tournaments where we do things or something, and like I'll still be involved 100%, but like I'm not just going to go fundraise for them without any kind of support. No.
Bungie Foundation should do a charity event to get Destiny 3 greenlit.
You think it would do well?
No. Or maybe. Maybe. I think actually, if that actually were to happen, as absurd as it would be, it would make tons of money.
Come buy Destiny 2 emblems to fundraise for Destiny 3.
I mean, I bet they'd make a lot. Wouldn't it be a sad state of affairs if that was their greatest fundraising event ever?
It would say how sad. Like we always thought that the Destiny community was really good, like to charity. But if that was the one they all showed up for, then it really shows what people really do, or what people really care about. That'd be funny. Okay, well, there's a couple more things here we're gonna hit on. I do hope they find something to go along with. But in terms of that, they're doing the whole June Pride pin emblem thing again. So if you haven't ever gotten one, we did a big one a few years ago where we gave away like 50 of these. But we're not doing that this year, just FYI. But if you want one, you can grab one. You can buy a pin, you get the emblem along with it, and you might be able to donate for the emblem.
You can donate through Tiltify for the emblem right now.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say sometimes I do that. So if you buy this,
a $10 donation.
Yeah. So you can get the emblem from by donating on Tiltify. It's probably right here. Yeah, the link's here. And then you also get it if you buy the pin, I believe. All right. Final Bungie rewards in store. So they're doing a Moment of Triumph Bungie shirt, and there's probably a pin. So make sure if you want those, you will. It says
earn the Immortal title.
Complete the Immortal title by September 30th. Players that do not complete it have until October. That do complete it have till October 31st to buy the reward. So you have basically until October 30th to complete it and October 31st to buy it. Or sorry, September 30th to complete it. October 31st to buy it.
And the last soundtrack's going to be free to everybody.
What am I supposed to put on the loyalty store?
It does seem like that this soundtrack is not actually new music. It's just going to be a compilation. Because one name I did happen to pick up on, well, it's pretty clear they're bringing back
the
old
first
stuff
name?
because Michael Salvatore's on there.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He is indeed. Okay, so 2 new emblems coming, and
one of them pretty controversial right now.
Really, I'm curious.
Not to me, because I don't have a problem getting it.
If you mean the one that I'm going to get because I've played every year of Destiny.
Yeah, so it's actually not just 2 emblems. There's also a emote coming with this as well.
All right, hold on. Let's show this off.
Let's talk about the first emblem, because the first emblem is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's neat, and then it's basically it says player logs into the play the Moment of Triumph. In addition to 2 bright engrams and 50 legendary marks, you will receive the Toast to the Monument emblem when you return starting June 9th. Claim from the special deliveries kiosk located between Banshee and Rahul. And this is the emblem right here, and it's very cool. It has like every character.
Yep.
Maybe not every character, but it
They
has a
even
lot.
show Amanda.
No, I'm pretty sure it's
Amanda
every
Holiday,
NPC.
not crispified.
Yeah, and she's real close to the front. Like,
Yeah, I'm
she's
pretty sure it's every NPC that we've dealt with in Destiny 2 that has been on the side of the Traveler.
That's cool. It's cool. It's even got Archie over here in the corner, by the way, if nobody saw him.
Well, even has Sweeper Bot. Sweeper Bot's all the way over there on the right.
And then the emblem that I'm gonna be rocking for a while.
Yeah, me too. All right. Anyway, so this one is called the Old Lights, and it comes with a unique emote. That must be what you're talking about. Elemental.
Yep.
Is there an image of that anywhere?
No.
Does anyone know what that looks like yet? It better be fucking awesome.
We don't know what Elemental Chi looks like. No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Chi. That's a stupid way to spell chi. Just saying. All right. Anyway, here is the emblem. You get it, as you can see right here. You need to have logged in at least once during each year of Destiny. Destiny 2, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, Witch Queen, Lightfall, The Final Shape, and the Year of Prophecy. And then you'll automatically earn this in the emblem. Or the emote. So you said controversy? Go ahead.
Yeah. So, couple things. One, I don't understand how people didn't understand the unlock requirements for this. Evidently, there were enough questions being thrown at Bungie that they had to send out a separate X post to actually qualify of, hey, this is what you need to do, and it was basically just restating this. But as you stated, you just need to have logged in at some point in time once during each one of those date ranges, and you'll earn this. You could be on for a minute, and according to them, you're going to earn this. The controversy around this is that there's a large number of the player base, and I know I'm a part of that player base, that came in when, whether it's when Forsaken dropped, or for me, it was during Shadowkeep, that have put in a significant amount of time into the game, even during its lowest of lows, like right now, that are effectively being left out in any of this pomp circumstance. I understand both sides of the conversation, to where this is for the old heads. This is for the people who have been there from beginning to end. Got it. But at the same time, those that have been continuing to carry the mantle and actually put in a ton of work to maintain the community are kind of being left to the wayside.
Yeah.
That's where the controversy is right now.
It's just an emblem.
And an emote.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to being that they went out of their way to kind of toast to those that have, I mean, ultimately speaking, there can be an account reasonably that has played less than an hour of Destiny 2
that has this,
that will unlock that.
Okay, but how do you solve that?
Versus an account.
Do you just say everybody that's played more than 2,000 hours that's currently still playing? Like, there's always going to be somebody that was like, oh, I played 1,999 all in the last 3 months. You know? So
you're not wrong. And that's where I just don't know if this is something that you give as the initial wave gets this, and there's some unlock requirement that is significantly long to get to make it earnable, or what. I don't know what the answer is.
No, I think the answer is giving this to everybody and then giving this to everyone who logged in every year. I think the answer is the emote or the emote above, or the emblem above it. Almost, kind of. I don't know. Maybe. But maybe not. If people are really upset. I think there's always going to be like somebody that's going to be upset in something like that.
No, you're not wrong. It's just that's where the controversy is right now in the conversation about it. Like it's an emblem. Frankly, even if I got that, cool. I'm gonna continue running my Neon Fate emblem. Like I think the Neon Fate emblem just looks better. But emblems are specific. We haven't seen the emote yet, so don't know what that emote looks like.
Maybe it's a shitty emote.
It could be. There's a ton of things that I wish were still unlockable in the game that they would have made available for people to still go after and seek to get and earn in game now that the game is being put into a stasis state. Like this is the last update we're going to get. There are things that people are going to have in game that are completely unearnable still, to where if new people come in to want to go and play Destiny 2 because now it's in this final stable state, there is a section of the video game player base at large that does sometimes look at live service games like these when they get their final update that, okay, I'm going to go and buy everything and go play through it all at once, and now I'm done. They're just going to treat it like a single release of the game because it's going to go on sale. It's going to go on pretty significant sale, I'd bet.
Oh yeah, they said it was
on Tuesday.
And this is also going to be the first time with that sale that they're bundling as the Legacy Collection everything of Destiny 2 to include the dungeon keys, which is a huge change to how they've been selling older content.
Yeah.
You no longer have to interact with the silver microtransaction system to be able to get all of your content.
Yeah, we discussed that.
Even though the game's finally is leaving, once that whole thing's on discount, I might just finish my collection on PC. I may just purchase it on Steam and finish it off, so I don't have to buy my PlayStation.
It's funny. I thought about doing that on my PlayStation because I'm missing like 3 expansions.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to finish it out on my PlayStation as well because I don't have it all on my PlayStation. I think I might
just have the option.
I might even do it on my Xbox because it might be interesting on the Xbox side because sometimes those bundles, the way how they'll do them is they'll be prorated if you already own portions of the bundle. So
imagine this bundle sells more copies than the last
Renegades.
Yeah.
Than Renegades.
Wild.
That's fucking funny. I mean, it almost should, right?
You know
when you think about it, like a bunch of people bought Renegades, but it was full price. This is going to be like fucking $20 for everything, probably. So,
please let this bundle sell more copies than the past couple of expansions of Destiny, just to send one more fucking message.
I'll go one better. I want to kind of go with an over-under on is it going to sell more copies than Marathon?
All right. Marathon sold like 1.5 million copies. It's not going to sell more than that, 1.5 million.
Right. You know what,
That's
Greener?
Crazy thought.
You know what, Greener?
That would be awesome, but it's not going to sell that many copies. No.
We made it. We're done.
Yeah. Okay. We're done. Yeah. More than merit. Jesus.
All right. So, last things. I want to talk about the upcoming event.
Sure. Go ahead.
Events at Shrouded, obviously, are going to change at some point.
Nope.
Here in the future because
Destiny forever.
We're not going to have Destiny to lean on forever. We do have some Destiny events coming. There will be an SRL tournament once we figure out what that looks like. There is a raid race being planned by one of the clan admins. They're going to submit an event for. There's another dungeon event coming that one of the clans reached out to me, and they're going to be submitting a request for some support. But we do have an event launching on Tuesday called Echoes of the Past. And this is going to be... I'll save all the flavor text for when it drops. I already posted an announcement on the server. But the high points are this is going to be a 2-part event. It's going to be a scavenger hunt where you're going to be having some prophecies delivered by Eris Morn that are going to be riddles to identify an activity in Destiny, an activity or location in Destiny, and it'll also identify 3 pieces of gear from that activity. There will be rewards for simply solving the riddle and submitting the riddle. You'll be able to do that by putting in the /prophecy command into the server. It'll pull up a dialog where you will select the prophecy number and then give your answers. And if you're correct, it will tell you. If you were close to correct, if it looked like you were close to correct, it'll say, hey, this needs admin review. And then if it gets approved, you'll get a notification saying it was approved. And it'll also tell you if you were wrong. So you'll get points for figuring that out. I highly encourage you to chat about this with your clans to figure this stuff out, or with the other clans to figure them out. I'm going to give you guys the first prophecy tonight. But I'll be releasing the prophecies not all at once because there's like 30 of them. They'll be released over the course of the event, so you won't have to figure everything out all at once. It won't be a big time sink up front, and all of them will be posted in there'll be a forum that's set up to host all of them. So without further ado, I'm going to read you the first prophecy right now. My wife is asking me a question. No, I have not given the dogs drugs yet. You will need to give the dog their pharmaceuticals. That is not part of the prophecy. All right. The first prophecy, without further ado. At the boundary between creation and annihilation, reality itself began to unravel, familiar laws bent beneath impossible strain. Something approached, slowly, inevitably. Its arrival could be delayed, but not prevented. As it drew nearer, possibilities vanished, histories unraveled, futures disappeared before they could be lived. And where certainty collapsed, impossibilities emerged. The universe struggled to contain contradictions that should never have existed. I have witnessed many endings. Few were as unsettling as the one waiting there. There you go. That riddle identifies an activity in Destiny and identifies 3 pieces of gear you need to find in that particular activity. So good luck with that. This first prophecy will be published on Tuesday, probably in the morning, because I'm taking the day off. So before I get going for playing any Destiny, I'm going to go ahead and post this on the server so people can get chewing on it.
Wait, did you say you're taking Tuesday off to play Destiny?
Just Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. The servers aren't going to be
I'm taking a half day.
They're not going to be on. There's no way. They're going to get slammed and Bungie's going to do what Bungie does.
I don't care. I'm going to be hanging out with the homies.
Okay,
I'll be going through light.gg and be just trolling through all the loot that's available to us.
I just swear to shit, if I get on the podcast on Thursday and you're like, I wanted to play on Tuesday and I couldn't. Goddamn Bungie, no wonder they're getting fucking shut down.
I mean, if it's anything like what happened to Marathon servers, it's just going to be par for the course.
There you go. Oh, yeah, they went down for like 6 hours just 2 days ago.
Yep.
To fix whatever the fuck they broke. They broke it something. That's
the one thing that I've been giving some warnings to people with regards to this update. I'm very happy with how they've been handling most of this. I get that the game that a lot of us have come to just love over the years is ending. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop playing it anytime soon. But they are touching a lot with this update. Yeah. There is a lot of potential for a lot to go wrong and a lot of things to be broken.
And
now they have stated that they are going to be executing a plan to be able to fix bugs. But what does that look like right now? How many bugs are they going to actually fix? And what do they define as a bug? They could see it as, oh, well, that was supposed to be buffed, but that was nerfed instead by accident. Not a bug. That's just that's how it's going to be. There's a lot of code being executed in this update. Expect a massive download for this. I am expecting most files being modified for this game, for this update. I'm sure
it'll be available on Monday night. I'm sure there'll be preload for it.
At the same time, well, we also haven't seen any notification about downtime for this. It might just be a lot, like it might just be a, hey, few hours before that's when it's going to release, and you can only preload. Everything's going to be downloading 2 hours before it goes live. Because I would assume that they would have put in the TWID that, hey, there's going to be downtime on Monday that's going to go down at X time, and it's going to be 24 hours to push this thing out.
They'll just put it in the new announcements tab.
After it's updated. Yeah. But no, I haven't seen a maintenance window yet. I haven't checked their forum post, though. They may have updated their forum post today. I can check that real quick.
All right. I think we did it. I want to put one other thing out there about the event. After I wrote all these riddles, I did run them through all of the publicly available major learning language models, and I made sure that none of them could figure it out, even when I gave it specific prompts that had the answers in them. None of them were able to figure it out on their own. So I just want to throw that out there for all of you Power
Chuds.
AI users. All right.
Hey, leave my Gemini alone.
None of them. Some of them got locations right occasionally, but not one of them got the gear right.
Well, that's good to know. They have not updated their server and update status page in the forums. So
yeah, we'll see.
All right, Greener, we got 2 minutes till an ad. Get that outro out of there so everybody can participate in the outro.
All right, goodbye, everybody. You just watched the longest episode of This Week at Shrouded that we've ever recorded. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're here on June 9th. Well, not here, but in the game playing Destiny, showing Sony that we want it, even though the servers won't be up and everything will be crashed probably until like the 11th. But no, I'm just kidding. It won't be that bad. I hope to see you guys there. I hope you come join us. shroudedgaming.com/Discord. And for all the people that are still in our community now, let's hit that hard. And I think we'll be back next week to talk about it. Well, at least I will be.
I'll be here.
Okay. All right. Anyway, it'll be fun. I can't wait. So see you guys then. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. No post show. This was too long. Everybody disperse. Player of the month happening. I never checked. I don't know. Fuck it. We'll figure it out later. I want to leave. It's too late, man.
Once again, thank you, Greener, for hosting. Thank you, chat, for showing up. Thank you, Hoppy, for participating. It was good to have somebody to talk to who was versed in Destiny, like I was, I am, so I could have an actual conversation about Destiny stuff. That's and offensive. Not just Greener going. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
What a dick.